Good afternoon from St Mary's, whether you're listening on BBC Radio Solent across the south, or you're listening online via your smart speaker or on the BBC Sounds app, or you're listening on BBC Radio 5 Live Sport Extra. A very good afternoon to you from myself, Adam Blackmore, and from former Saints and Norway international Joe Tessum, my summariser, alongside me this afternoon. The first game of 2024 at home to Southampton is a banana skin FA Cup third round tie. High-flying Saddlers, Walsall from League Two, who are in great nick at the moment, have won 6 of their last 7 games, including beating Wrexham, Notts County and thumping Grimsby just 5 days ago up north by 6 goals to 1. They arrive here with absolutely nothing to lose, and knowing that team they just thrashed up on Humberside won in the 5th round here last season to provide one of the shocks of the FA Cup as they progressed to the quarter-finals at Southampton's expense back last February here. But it's a new Southampton now, of course, 18 unbeaten in the Championship, 3rd in the table, and riding high under new manager Russell Martin. Those dark days of the Nathan Jones and Ruben Sellers era seem like a very long time ago. Almost a different club ago, Joe Tessum. It's hard to imagine how much has happened at this club in the last 12 months.
Yeah, and it only happens in football, I think, Adam. I mean, you can change these kind of things so quickly, and it shows you got to have the right people, right kind of idea, and you've got to work together. Back in the Championship, the club has so far got it right in my eyes.
When you are playing as a Premier League footballer, a cup tie against a lower league side, what are the things you have to avoid if you're going to avoid having egg on your face come 5 o'clock? All about attitude?
If you played when I played here and you played lower leagues, you just concentrated about yourself, and that's what you did. You wanted to. I always wanted to play well. I didn't care who I played against, and I think that's the attitude you got to go into it. But football is very even. There isn't much difference from the 2nd division up to the Championship, even though there's 3 divisions. But you got to kind of concentrate about yourself. That's all that matters.
Okay. So really what we're talking about is playing to your own level, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, if Saints play to their level, the players that have been picked today, they'll win the game. That's what it's about, isn't it? Not making this any different to a Championship game, coming out and delivering.
No, and the problem is, if you do, like a lot of people want them to play a lot of academy players or younger players, you're going to find yourself in trouble, because 2nd division in this league, in this country, is not bad, and they will find themselves swimming a little bit.
Okay, Joe, the teams are just coming out, led out by the referee, David Webb. This afternoon, Saints in their red tops, their black shorts, and their white socks, and Walsall, the Saddlers of the West Midlands, in a forest green away kit, green from top to toe. They are, and they come out away to my right, managed of course by the man whose surname is the club's nickname. Matt Sadler, the former Birmingham City fullback, took over the job in April on a temporary basis, got given the job. They're 11th in League Two, but they are in good form, and they've been dealing with a lot of injuries whilst getting that good run of wins. Like I said, 6 of their last 7 won, including a 2nd round replay against Alfreton, who drew 0-0 with them in the first leg. But with Notts County, Wrexham and Grimsby as scalps on their belts in the last few weeks, Walsall will come here with nothing to fear and looking forward to trying to make life uncomfortable for a Southampton side that shows 9 changes from the team that drew with Norwich on New Year's Day. A debut for Joe Lumley in goal for Saints, the former QPR, Reading and Borough keeper, 28 years old, gets his first chance to play in a Saints shirt. His last cup game was at Old Trafford against Manchester United. In defence, a return to the side for Mason Holgate. We think he'll start at right back, alongside Harwood, Bellis and Stevens, who are the only 2 remaining starters from the game at Carrow Road. Holgate hasn't started a game since the West Brom match here that Southampton won before the international break in November. And Jaden Magoma comes in for a 2nd start. His first was an ill-fated trip to Gillingham in the League Cup on the early days of Russell Martin's reign, when Saints got thumped 3-0 and embarrassingly dumped out of the EFL Cup. Magoma comes in at left back. Smallbone, Charles and Alcaraz come into midfield. Fresh legs across there, and plenty of Championship experience now between those 3. And up front, Sam Amayor will play on the right. The 17-year-old winger who is part of the England of the 17 World Cup squad. He comes in for what is his third start in the Saints shirt, his second cup start. Sekou Mara will lead the line. He's been better off the bench recently in the Championship, has a goal and an assist over the Christmas period. He will play down the middle. And Ryan Fraser brings real experience to that front line. The 29-year-old gets his first start since Huddersfield in November. He was part of the Newcastle side, as I was talking to him about yesterday, that lost to Cambridge United only a couple of years ago in the FA Cup. So he can give fair warning to the Saints players who weren't involved against Grimsby in the 5th round last year. Walsall make just one change from the side that thumped Grimsby 6-1. 30-year-old striker Danny Johnson comes in up front for on-loan top scorer Freddie Draper. The 19-year-old, he's not playing as he's on loan from Lincoln City. He's got 21 starts in the league, Draper, and has 10 goals already. So he will be playing up front with Douglas James Taylor, who got his first league goal against Grimsby on New Year's Day. So that's just the one change in a 3-5-2. Jackson Smith in goal for Walsall has the first touch of the ball away to our right from the kickoff as it's sent back to him. He launches it long, headed back by Jack Stevens. And Smith playing in behind a back three of David Okagboy, Priestley Farquharson and Donovan Daniels. Then Tom Knowles out on the right, Liam Gordon on the left. The central three midfielders, Isaac Hutchinson, Brendan Comley and Jack Earing, who's in good form, has scored in the last 2 league games against Grimsby, and Wrexham, the midfielder, the former Halifax man. And like I said, Johnson and James Taylor up front. So it's Walsall in that 3-5-2 or 5-3-2 when they haven't got the ball on shore, but it's Saints immediately getting behind it with Fraser down the left. Crosses, missed by the defender and then cleared away by another defender at the second time of asking. Gordon couldn't control it, Liam Gordon, the Ghanaian, but it was whacked away and there was an offside flag anyway. And there's a good start for Southampton, intention and tempo-wise, Joe Tessam, but a reprieve for Walsall. 0-0 in the first minute.
Yeah, good pass through, and Ryan Fraser makes a good run in behind and gets the ball, crosses it. Defender should clear it, misses it. It goes to Sam Amio on the back post, and I think it's a free kick because he missed. The defender comes in and Sam Amio kicks him, and the referee gives a free kick. I know it looks like it's a goalkeeper kick at him, but yeah. But good start. That's what we got to do to them, quickly and behind. Yeah, play with the tempo they can't live with, Joe. I guess that's half of it. Yeah. So they get the ball at the back, and Donovan Daniels, spelled with an R, Donovan, gets the ball in. That's an early cross for Walsall from the right, swung in by Tom Knowles, and they go out for a goal kick. So Joe Lumley will get an early touch. He's been patiently sat on the bench. He came into the Championship squad for Southampton when, of course, Alex McCarthy picked up an injury. Now McCarthy's on the bench this afternoon. Is Lumley preferred to him? Has McCarthy not had enough time on the training ground to start? Well, Lumley's just getting rewarded possibly, but I think Southampton will be hoping he's not that busy, Joe, don't you think? Yeah, but they come in and look very offensive in the way they set up Adam, and they got with it. Let's go for it.
Well, why not? What why not?
I would do so if I came out and put some pressure on the Southampton and do it that way. Also, playing in the kind of 3-5-2 formation, which looks like more like a 5 in the back when they defend. Absolutely, as you'd expect, of course. But for them, you're right. They've got absolutely nothing to lose, Joe. They come here, enjoy the big day out, and the only way they do that is by taking Saints on, giving their fans something to shout about, and having a memorable day, whatever happens with the score. But we will see. Southampton need to stick to their guns as well. 0-0. BBC Radio Solent Sport and 5 Live Sport Extra as Mason Holgate gets a touch. Sean Dyche basically writing off any thoughts of wanting him back at Everton recently as the ball goes on the outside to Amuamua. That's a good cross to the back post, headed across the 6-yard area by Ryan Fraser, and nobody there to tap it home. And so the goalkeeper Jackson Smith, the summer signing from Wolves, can gather it under no pressure, and he's all yellow kit. It's goalless. Yeah, and that's what Holgate needs to do with Sam Amio. Give him the ball and let him take the fullback on one-on-one, because that's his strong sides, and that's where he can. If he can do that, he doesn't need to do any defending. And good cross in. Yeah, now Mara trying to press, but not everyone pressing in behind him. Russell Martin and Matt Sadler both out on the edge of their technical areas below us in this itching stand. About 18,000 expected here at St Mary's today for this cup game. Good effort. Certainly the Kingston stand's pretty full, the Chapel End half full, and I would say probably 4/5, 3/4 of the ground definitely full. Good turnout for the cup with some different families and people here who don't usually come to league games, who've got tickets. Good for them. Good travelling support, of course. Bigger percentage for the away fans in the FA Cup.
Southampton need to get through this and create a fourth round tie at the end of the month, preferably here, as Amo Ameyor plays it across the Walsall half. Southampton have it midway inside the Saddlers half, pushed out wide to the right by Charles. Into feet it goes to Alcaraz. Return ball for Ryan Fraser, who's been busy in the early stages, and he wins a corner off Farquharson. It is a corner to Southampton, the first of the game, and they've certainly started at the sort of tempo and brightness that Russell Martin would have hoped when he sent them out, John.
Yeah, and Ryan Fraser is doing the right thing, running in behind. Sam Ameyor on this side stands still and receives the ball. So it's two different types of wingers here in the start phase of the game, Adam.
5th minute, corner to Southampton. At the northern end, in front of the fans from both clubs, goes near post. Mara tried to flick it on. Saints calling for a handball. Referee's not interested. Comes back to Smallbone, fires it from the edge of the D, and it hits a body right in front of him and pings all the way back to Joe Lumley in the Southampton goal, who's just outside. He's the halfway line. He just skipped past the striker, which I'm shocked about. Or by Tom Knowles, he just skipped past him and nearly on the halfway line. I mean, if he'd got that wrong, he'd have looked an absolute turnip. But thankfully for Joe Lumley, he didn't. But that was certainly brave and confident, Joe Tesson.
Very confident.
Oh,
it's always good when you are successful with these things, Adam. But that was a gamble, by the way.
That looked like a handball to me by Earing, not given. And Joe Lumley not lacking confidence, that's for sure. So, like I said, his last FA Cup tie was at Old Trafford as Saints go through, and there is the goal. And Ryan Fraser's come off the left-hand side, and he scored early. He's been scoring off the bench. Now he's got his start, and he's scored again. We said both wingers had started well. Fraser's latched onto the ball near the penalty area. Well popped, good pass into him. He's got there and he's slotted it home, and it's 1-0 Saints, and that's the perfect start when you're the side who've got it all to lose in the FA Cup third round.
Yeah, and it's a good run, but it's too simple. The way they're defending, too high line. Harvard Belly's just kind of a side foot curl over the top, over Sekou Mara's head, and he just runs in, he hits him with his tummy, and takes one with a touch, and then the next touch into the right-hand corner for the keeper, and it's a very good run. Good ball from Harvard Bellis over the top, and I think he should do more of that. It's simple.
But I'll tell you what, it was too simple from a Walsall point of view. Howard Bellis is looking up from just inside his own half, and all he's done is hit a long ball down the middle, and Fraser's just come off the wing and chested it down and scored. I mean, he's literally just stroked it home,
I tell you what, when you have the ball in your feet and no pressure, you should make those passes 9 out of 10 times. That's my
what
view.
You said last week, wasn't it, when you were moaning about it, and I said they're not easy to make, and you said they are if you're a professional. So you were right, and he did make that pass, and also there was no pressure on Fraser to score the goal. So Matt Sadler will be disappointed, but this could be a comfortable afternoon for Southampton if it carries on like this. In fact, it will be if it carries on like this. That'll give the young players in the team a lift as well, as Smallbone plays it out on this right wing to Amo Ameyor, approaching the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Ball in field, he's well intercepted by Donovan, the captain for Walsall, and he sends a long ball forward for Douglas James Taylor to gather, and Lumley again comes 30 yards outside of his penalty area and got there and timed it well, and Southampton get the ball back on halfway. But at the moment, Walsall will realise they're 2 divisions below Southampton. Yeah,
and they can see when we turn the tempo on, but we can't give the ball. But this is a good lesson for Sam Ameyor on the right wing. Simple passes, and he tried it with his outside of his foot into Smallbone, loses the ball, and that's when we trigger the counter-attack here, Adam, and we need to avoid that.
8th minute, 1-0. Southampton lead Walsall. Cambridge have taken the lead at Blackburn. I can tell you, that's a shock there, certainly a shock goal, not a shock scoreline yet, but comfortable at the moment. Southampton need to ram home their early advantage with a second goal, really. Holgate, who's playing on the right fullback role, and Harwood Bellis gets it midway inside the Walsall half. Inside right, goes across the centre circle through captain Jack Stevens, and on to Jaden Magoma, who's getting a second run out in a Saints senior shirt. Now Fraser, the goal scorer, driving down the left wing, crosses left footed to the back post, heads go up, it comes out on this near side to Holgate. Holgate will chip it back into the 6-yard area, half away by Walsall, but Shea Charles will keep the pressure on. Magoma back out to Fraser again. Will he deliver another one? He goes for the cheeky pass inside the box, and it's hacked away by David Okudboy, and it's out for a corner to Southampton at the northern end in the 9th minute. 1-0 Saints, more pressure on the Walsall goal. I think when you're a manager, Joe, all you're worrying about if you're Russell Martin today is let's get through, do enough to win, get no injuries, just don't become the headline tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 3 points there, but
no, we're not falling into that trap. Don't you worry. It's a cup tie, everybody.
It's a cup tie, yeah.
And here comes the corner, right-footed, hung into the 6-yard area, and again it drifts past everybody. Kept in on this near side, the Saints right. And goes back to Will Smallbone. Quite a number of the Saints women's team down in front of us. Late arriving. I'll have a word with them later. Bad girls, trying to keep warm. What's wrong with them, Joe? Come on, girls, sit down, you're in the way. And the ball back with Taylor Harwood-Bellis. They're sitting, as they tend to do, right in front of the press box. But I'll let them off, as it's a cup tie. They're back in action next weekend. Or maybe a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks. Back in action in the Women's Championship. As Fraser gets it and he slides it down to Magoma. That's a good early cross. Mara meets it with his head and he should have scored. 7 yards out as he rose. He looked to have timed his jump well, the young Frenchman, but he couldn't get his forehead on the ball enough, and it's gone off the top of his head, and instead of booming past Smith in the Walsall goal.
Yeah, good combination play. It's everything is coming down our left side because the movement, the passing is quick. He links up really, Magoma links up really well with Fraser, and Fraser plays him on the outside on the overlap. Good cross in, and that's where we are struggling. I think that area there, when we put crosses in, and we've seen that Adam against Norwich, we had so many crosses in. We need to be better at scoring when we have so many, and that's a good ball. And could Mara done better with it? I think he tried, and it's fair. It's a good finish, Adam.
It's not a good finish. He's wide.
Yeah,
he jumped up slightly too early, didn't he? I think he's going to score a goal this afternoon. But let's make that point about the crossing. It's interesting speaking to Russell Martin yesterday, Joe. He agreed with me, following on what we said on Going Home with Adam and Joe on our podcast last Monday night, that they put in so many good crosses against Norwich, but they didn't start with Shay Adams in the team, even though they seemed to be more direct against Norwich than they had been in previous games, and they got wide and got crosses in. And I said to you, surely you start Shay Adams if you're going to play like that. And he actually said he should have started him at Norwich.
Yeah, but you got good knowledge about football.
Well, it doesn't matter, doesn't it? That's not as like you and him, but the point is, he actually saw it as well, Russell Martin.
Yeah.
It's good that he's humble enough to admit when he makes a mistake.
Yeah, and I think that's not a problem in that. We all make mistakes, even managers make mistakes.
And it's not really a mistake, it's just a choice.
Yeah, and I'd rather have a manager come out and say, I should have done that instead of that, and be honest about it instead of defending a wrong decision.
And it's good for Shay Adams to hear that as well, I think.
Yeah.
Having been disappointed not to start.
So you got a no start today then?
No, but he's rested today. That's the way to look at it. Either that, or you can say he's going to go somewhere in the window and he's not playing in the FA Cup because someone's come in for him in January, 6 months left of his contract. Ball being passed around by Sampson in the home half. You're not missing anything because now it's gone over halfway from Alcaraz to Fraser, and Alcaraz runs outside him. He's running towards the byline on the left again. Saints opening Walsall up on that far side as they attack the northern end away to our right, and eventually half a tackle and some defending is done. There's a foul on Brandon Comley, and the Montserrat international gets a free kick near his own goal line. But Walsall have been under the pump here for 12 minutes now. It's 1-0 to Southampton. It probably could and maybe should have been 2. And at the moment there's only one side looking like getting the next goal, that's for sure, as the clouds gather over Southampton on this cold, bitterly cold but dry January afternoon. Saints, remember, 18 unbeaten in the Championship. I have been doing all the research and getting some help with Southampton's longest unbeaten runs of their history, and it's not simple, Joe. I tried to explain it to you yesterday, but we needed a chalkboard as the ball comes across the pitch in the penalty area in the Southampton half. Ball hung in by Walsall from the left, and they win a corner on this near side off Mason Holgate. Well done from Jack Earing. Good play from him. So a chance for those Walsall fans who travelled down from the West Midlands, of course, right on the edge of Birmingham, the north edge, and they've come down. You all know that ground as you drive past the M6 above Birmingham. You get Villa Park on your left, and then you get the Bescott Stadium on your right, next to the old RAC building near Spaghetti Junction. Now they've got a chance from a set piece. You probably think that's their best chances all afternoon. Here it comes, hung up towards the back post. It's defended away out of the penalty area, and then the clearance needs completing, and Ryan Fraser does complete it, and it goes out as he tries to feed it for Alcaraz down the left wing. Walsall will have a throw back near the halfway line. 13 minutes gone, 1-0 Southampton. BBC Radio Solent, BBC Sounds and BBC 5 Live Sport Extra. A very good afternoon to you wherever and however you are listening this afternoon from the third round of the FA Cup. Joe Tesson, what do you make of it so far?
No, they're quite good coming down the right hand side, Adam. They have put in 2 decent crosses there, and they put early crosses in. They obviously have been told get a ball down onto the side and cross it, and what they are good at, they fill up with people. There's more than back two in there. There's three, always three in there. So they are doing the right thing. Got to take if they're going to have any chance, they need to take care of these set pieces though, because they're not going to get many of them.
Yeah, Stevens on halfway. The Southampton captain looks up. Another game in his advancement back towards full match fitness from his long-term injury. Alcaraz inside left, midway inside the Walsall half, turns inside, checked by the defender, has to go back to Harwood Bellis, who's foot on the ball, almost at walking pace, gives it to Smallbone. He opens the ball out to Holgate on this right-hand side in his bright pink boots. Back inside it goes to the former Burnley loanee who has a championship medal to his name, Taylor Harwood Bellis, England under 21 captain. Looks up from the top of the centre circle again, where his options, where's the movement. Alcaraz pops out to the left, gives Stevens an option. And now he looks up inside. Smallbone's made a little run, but he goes back to Harwood Bellis. Southampton shifting Walsall around, back right to left and back again and back again and back again. And out it goes to Sam Amayor. Now he can have a dart down this near side, the right. Goes inside, then outside, and in the end he's tackled well. And then the throw in won by Holgate against the defending of Jack Earing.
Yeah, and if I'm going to give a young player an advice, when he's 2 against 1, you're not going to go past both of them, and he didn't get past the first
one.
But
just go between them.
Go between them, yeah, but just calm down and wait for your opportunity, wait for the right opportunities, because high-level football, you have to wait for the right opportunities, and that's what Sam Amiot needs to do. I know he's eager, he wants to take people on the show how good he is, and he is good, but you got to pick out the right moments.
He's lightning, actually, isn't he? The Saints young right winger, 17 years old. Like I said, went away in the Under-17 World Cup recently, one of 3 Southampton youngsters in that squad. On the bench, Tyler Dibbling, another 17-year-old, and 18-year-old Cameron Bragg, a Southampton Academy midfielder, as well as Ryan Manning, Flynn Downs, both Armstrong, Shea Adams and Jan Bednarek and Alex McCarthy, a big mix of experience and youth on the bench. Good tackle, this time by Jack Earing, and Walsall win the ball back just before halfway, and it's chipped over the top, and Douglas James Taylor can make a run, but it's bent away from him, and it's dealt with by Jaden Magoma, one of the 2 17-year-olds who are starting this afternoon. Left back for Southampton. 1-0, comfortable for Southampton, but no game's comfortable at 1-0. They'll want a second goal as soon as possible. And like I said before the game, it'd be nice to see Tyler Dibbling get a decent run out. He's had 6 minutes in a senior shirt. Of course, he got taken off to Chelsea, came back. He's had quite a career for someone who's never played a league game of football, and realised it's not always better elsewhere. The grass isn't always greener. And came back from Chelsea unhappy and resumed his career with Southampton. It'd be nice to see him get a run out. We want to see his talent on the pitch. 17th minute, chipped ball in from Holgate to Mara. Nods it down towards Alcaraz, but it's collected and dealt with well in the end by Isaac Hutchinson, and then cleared by Jackson Smith, the Walsall keeper. Up it goes, up to the halfway line. Danny Johnson struggles to control it, and Southampton win it back. And this is the problem. If you're a team who are not in the same league as Southampton, getting the ball off them, Joe, is a nightmare.
Yeah, I think
they keep it.
Well, they have done what a lot of clubs choose to do: sit back and just defend and run after the ball for 90 minutes. Well, so far, but it's going to come to a point, because they're 1-0 down. They have to change that tactic.
What Southampton have done better in recent months and during this 18-match unbeaten run for me, Joe, is they've got better at being more aggressive for the second ball. So even when they've gone with the longer ball and perhaps competed 50-50, if it's come down, they've been better in recent months at actually getting it and then controlling the game again. As they send it towards Mara, good work across from Priestley Farquharson, and then Mara wins it back off him on that right side. So Fraser cuts in off the left for Saints, gets a 1-2 with Will Smallbone, can't connect though as it goes back to Fraser. He loses control and it's hacked to clear back to halfway, and Harwood Bellis will bring it over to this right hand side. Here's Holgate, thinks about the cross from the right, goes inside to Alcaraz instead. Alcaraz looks up, ball blocked in front of him by Donovan Daniels, and Southampton decide to keep it in and not go for the throw-in on this near side. They're right.
Yeah, and we saw just when you talked about winning the ball straight back, when we tried a little thing, we win it back straight away, and that's exactly what we've been a lot better at, Adam, when we just need to make the runs in, and we know now that if we lose the ball, we will win it back. Well,
you know it. If you do it, they've got to do it. They've got to be the first to react. They've got to pounce in possession, get control, and they've got it at the moment. Fraser into Alcaraz, who tries a similar shot from the one he scored against Plymouth with in the last home game, but he's got that one all wrong, and it's ended up in the Walsall fans well wide, and nothing for Jackson Smith to worry about. 1-0 to Southampton earlier on in the third round. Wimbledon 1, Ipswich 3, Coventry 6, Oxford United 2. Great win for Maidstone from the National League South, beating Stevenage by a goal to nil. Leicester were 3-2 winners at Millwall, so they've taken it seriously. And in the big time weird derby, No upset for Sunderland. Newcastle take bragging rights. 3-0 win, comfortable for them. Couple of goals for Alexander Isak. In the 3 o'clock games, 1-0 to Cambridge at Blackburn still. Sheffield United won up at Gillingham, who knocked Southampton out of the League Cup back in August. Hull, Birmingham, Newport, Eastleigh still goalless. We've got live commentary of Eastleigh online, of course. They're the second lowest ranked side in the competition, apart from Maidstone, who've already won. So, big afternoon for Eastleigh. And if you're listening and you don't know where Eastleigh is, it's just by Southampton Airport, and they're just outside the playoffs in the National League. And Eastleigh are 0-0 at Newport County at Rodney Parade. Southampton here are 1-0 up. The ball midway inside the Walsall half again. It's a dominant display so far, and the gap between the sides is being played out in front of us as things stand. But it's still only 1-0. 19th minute, ball out on the left wing. Magoma's got Fraser outside him. Decides to look inside instead. Still got it on the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Eventually gives it to Alcaraz. Not much room to work. So he comes inside to Howard Bellis. Another ball lifted forward from the young centre-back, who got the assist for Fraser's goal. But again, plenty of green Walsall shirts back. And Fraser now wide on that left-hand side will try and get another cross in. That deflects off the defender. Another corner to Southampton. I'll complete the scores. Norwich 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Plymouth 1 up against League 2 strugglers Sutton. QPR Bournemouth is goalless. We've got commentary of that on our Dorset frequencies and online. Stoke 1, Brighton 0 is the latest score. And Watford against Chesterfield, the National League leaders, is also goalless. Here Southampton take the corner short. It comes back inside and another shot blasted over well wide. And it's from Sam Amour, and it's a goal kick to Walsall. It is 1-0 to Southampton. And let me give you a couple of links between the clubs, shall we? So if you think about certainly local links we've got down here with Walsall, and more than you might think. For instance, Sean O'Driscoll was managing Walsall for a spell after he left Bournemouth after years in the job, of course, at Dean Court. Paul Merson had a spell, the former Pompey midfielder. Longer than you might think. Nearly 2 years Paul Merson lasted at Walsall, but all that was after spells they had under Chris Nicholl and Ray Graydon. Chris Nicholl, of course, 5 years as Saints manager, late 80s, early 90s, and the former Villa defender, who also was a great figure at Southampton. He's here today. He's suffering with dementia, Chris Nicholl. He was a great player as a centre-back. He was an excellent manager for Southampton, taking over from Laurie McMenemy, which wasn't easy. Tough, uncompromising bloke and a tough, uncompromising player. Scored one of the League Cup's finest ever goals from near the halfway line against Everton. And of course, then went on to manage Walsall and had success with them. And Ray Graydon was a coach here at Southampton, assistant manager, under 21 coach as well, under 18s coach. A Villa legend, Ray Graydon scored the winner in the 1975 League Cup final, one of my first memories as a boy watching football. And Ray Graydon, a lovely, humble man who I worked with in my fledgling days as a reporter for BBC WM when he was manager of Walsall, and I once guided him out of Turf Moor after a 0-0 draw at Burnley in New Year, back this day of the year actually, when they turned all the lights off on us in the top of the stand. He'd come to an interview. So I got nice memories of Ray Graydon, who held on to my coat as I got him out of the stand and back towards the team bus. Ball not cleared by Walsall. Saints trying to fashion a chance on the left-hand side. Pulled back without looking though, and the clearance comes as Walsall try and get out of trouble. But tell you what, just playing around Douglas James Taylor with the ball on the edge of his own penalty area, he's back to goal, wasn't that wise. In the end, it's gone out for a throw on the far side. It's midway through the first half. It is 1-0 to Southampton. And I have to say, the game after that bright start from Saints has frankly, Joe, just been a bit lacklustre in the last 5-10 minutes, a bit lacking of incident.
Yeah, the tempo's gone down. If he comes from something, it's from the left side with Fraser and Magoma on the side. He played it into Smallbone, who could have turned and had a shot. We had a couple of shots while you were going through all the former managers and links, Adam, but kind of on the stand, and there's been a few situations which could have been differently if you have taken them differently. But I think we need to keep the width. Sam Amion needs to keep the width on this side. Comes inside a little bit too much. That makes the game a little bit more difficult to get through. But the runs in behind has stopped now. Everyone is standing still.
Long ball forward from Ngoma's good though, and Fraser picks it up down the left wing. He's tracked back and slowed up, but he's still got it, and he gets that crossing from the left, and the goalkeeper does well, bravely coming in front of Sekou Mara to gather it, Jackson Smith. And I think he's been hurt for his trouble, that's for sure. He's been in the team since the end of November, taking over from Owen Evans, who started 19 games. Blackburn 1, Cambridge 1 as we wait for Jackson Smith to get some treatment. The goalkeeper has still got the ball in his hands. Sammy Smodic has scored for Blackburn to level things up against Cambridge United. Talking to Southampton links, former Southampton schoolboy Lucas Jukovic has scored at Hull to give Birmingham City, who've just got rid of Wayne Rooney, the lead there. So Hull 0, Birmingham 1. And Luke Cundall, who played, of course, for Swansea for Russell Martin, has scored for Plymouth at home to Sutton United. They lead by a goal to 0. Joe Tessam, little stoppage in play here. If you're Russell Martin, what are you saying to the players with this 1-0 lead and 24 minutes gone?
I think he's pretty calm there. We're dominating the game. Just keep the tempo, keep playing, trying, be more accurate when you are playing simple passes. Howard Bellis had another opportunity to do what he did when he passed it into Frazier over the top, and he totally missed it, and it was a good run again. Frazier is the one most active. Use him, just give him the ball and let him play, and he makes runs, and you got to see that, you got to sense that as on the pitch for the rest of the players. So we just need to keep going, keep the width, keep playing quick balls in behind, make the runs. And that's a good thing with Russell Martin. We kind of recognise his pattern of play, even though he's made 9 changes, Adam, and that's good to see, because you want a kind of clear identification of how you play football, and he has got it. And Sam Amio's come in, Magoma's come in. They know exactly what he wants from them, and what in their roles as a right winger and as a left back, and they are kind of complying to that, and it is really good to see.
So you'll be quite happy if you're the manager. Saints fans here, I think we're at the risk of the game getting a little bit boring, if I'm honest, unless Southampton start forcing Smith into more action, or Walsall get themselves up the pitch. At the moment there's a bit of a stalemate between, yes, we're going to let you have the ball, but we're going to do everything we can to stop you. And from a Walsall perspective, if they went in at half-time 1-0 down, I think they'd be reasonably happy, Joe. They're still in the game, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not being condescending saying that either.
No.
That's the fact is, they're 2 leagues below. The Southampton were a Premier League club last year. If you're Walsall, you'd have taken 1-0 down at half-time all day long.
Yeah.
I think. As Smallbone gets in trouble with Lumley playing out from the back, Southampton being brave, and if it works, of course, they'll beat the press and they'll get through the Walsall midfield, and that's what they're trying to do now as Holgate gives it to Alcaraz, just over halfway, sweeps it out to the left-hand side to Fraser. Magoma's up on his outside, he feeds the teenager, left-footed cross, Alcaraz takes a touch as he gets onto it, and then it's hacked away as he just wanted too much time on the ball, cleared away by David Okugbali. And now Walsall with a nice little touch out to this near side can send themselves forward down the wing with Liam Gordon, and Liam Gordon from the left crosses into the edge of the area. Johnson can't get it, but he gets the second touch. Here's Earing. Saints trying to tackle him. Stevens gets it back to Lumley, and again no panic in the penalty area. Mason Holgate will clear, but at least Walsall showing there that when they do get the opportunity, they're going to possess a threat, as Sekou Mara wins a free kick dragged down by Brandon Comley, which is Brandon Comley's job.
Yeah, and Joe Lumley is very calm, I have to say.
I'm not sure the defender wanted the ball off him when he
got it. No, he played that ball to small ball. That ball is not on for me, but they got away with it, and it's because also didn't expect it, but it was a difficult one. But it works. When it works, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get many of them in League 2, Joe, do you?
No.
In League 2, that would have been hoofed up the pitch to halfway, there's no doubt about it, and probably rightly so, a lot of you would say. As Southampton try and keep the ball in on the far side, and Farquharson's done well, battling with Alcaraz. Priestley Farquharson, you don't get many footballers called Priestley Farquharson, I know that much. Scored his first goal for the club against Grimsby on New Year's Day, and that's brilliant 6-1 win. And the former Newport man will now get a rest, because down injured is Tom Knowles, and he's just slow to get up as the referee David Webb has a look. Knowles just challenged by, in fact I don't actually think Shea Charles did anything wrong. In fact, he got kicked by Knowles.
Yeah, and Knowles miskicks the ball, and then he kind of kicks it into his leg into Shea Charles' chest.
And the referee gave them a free kick.
Yeah,
that was not Mr. Webb. No, imagine if he'd given a penalty. It'd been in the box. Right. Anyway, let's play on. Isaac Hutchinson sends it down the right wing for Walsall. In it goes to Jack Earing, who's popped up on the inside right. Got some shirts out there helping him. Nice work that is. Comley's driven it forward. Comley's 25 yards from goal. Eventually tries to go past too many. Smallbone tackles him. Southampton will try and break. Fraser's made the run. He just needs the ball fed to him. and Mara couldn't get the pass that Fraser wanted. He was hanging off the side of Farquharson, staying on side, playing off his shoulder, just needed the ball threaded through, and then Southampton win it back again in the middle of the Parkers.
Yeah, and those are the opportunities when Fraser makes a really good run. Sekumara is under no pressure whatsoever. Simple ball, has the whole right side of the pitch to play on, and if you don't make that pass, you
Well, that's a great ball from Fraser, and Fraser's played Sam Amiyor in behind, and Sam Amo's cutting inside onto his left foot, squares it for Fraser, looking for his second. Oh, and then the rebound goes out for a goal kick because Sekumara can't prod it home from 6 yards out in the 6-yard area, and somehow he's managed to scoop it over the crossbar, and that really should have been 2-0 that time. Mara's had 2 great chances and he's missed them both.
Yeah, a little bit of a nightmare. First it misses that simple pass to Ryan Fraser, makes a good run there, Adam. I think you should make that as a simple one, put it into the side and into his pattern of a run, and then we end up getting the ball again, and again from Ryan Fraser, who plays Sam Amior. Brilliant ball, and Sam Amior drives in, tries to cross it or passes it to Ryan Fraser, who has a shot, but it hits Sekumara, and then he lands perfectly for him, straight in front of goal. He leans back and kicks it over the post.
It's a shocker.
Over the bar.
That's a bad miss from Mara. He needs a goal
that
as well.
That was a bad one.
Doing good.
That was a bigger miss than the header, Adam.
Yeah, 30 minutes gone. BBC Radio Solent and BBC 5 Live Sport Extra. It's Southampton 1, Walsall 0. Chesterfield have taken the lead at Watford, so National League leading championship at Vicarage Road this afternoon. No shocks so far for Southampton, although remember they lost 2-1 to Grimsby and last season in the 5th round here, and they only have 1 goal so far. Things can change. Mason Holgate midway inside his own half, looks up from the right wing beneath us, goes inside to Alcaraz. That's a lovely ball to Fraser, who again's come off the left wing, tries to make a run through for Sam Amiyor, and he's fallen down a bit too easily for my liking there, coming off the right hand side. But good combination work from Alcaraz and Fraser. I think Sam Amiyor has got to be stronger than that, and he could have used his pace to really put some pressure on the defence, get latching onto the end of that ball, but there you go.
Yeah, and when you got pace, you just use your pace, even though you got pushed into a little bit out of balance there. He just falls over too easily, Adam, and there. But it's a good run, a good play, and I like the pass from Alcaraz to Fraser, but it still could be, it's not perfect, Adam.
No.
And again, Alcaraz is good at this, but he's under no pressure, and you should make that. And we saw earlier, Holgate could have played a better pass up to Alcaraz in midfield, but it's too slow. You got to play it harder.
Yeah, you're right. It's just not quite accurate from Southampton at the moment. They've got the early lead. They're comfortable with it. 32nd minute, but they could be as they pass it around again near the centre circle, and then forward in from Harwood Bellis. Like the first time touch from Mara is excellent. He gets it back. Now he might have a chance. Tries to shoot. Hits the defender. Awkward boy, and he actually should have played it to his left, if I'm honest, to Alcaraz, but it's come back. Southampton have won the second ball midway inside the Walsall half, so Holgate feeds Amiyor, skips it past one to the byline, pulls it back. It's half away this time by Comley, and then Walsall complete the clearance, but again they cannot get the ball to stick, and Southampton win it back on halfway. And you just feel now they've just ratcheted it up a little bit, Southampton, in the last minute or two.
Yeah, Sam Amiyor gets played up by Holgate, skips past his full-back and gets it, and this is the end product again. We talk about Edosi, who's got better at this now. You young players come in, you got to find the end product. That's going to take you to the next level of your football career.
1-0 Saints. That's the voice of Joe Tesson, former Southampton and Norway midfielder, on BBC Radio Solent. As Will Smallbone, the Irish international, plays it to Harwood Bellis, and Stevens takes over. A little ball forward to Alcaraz, tries to turn and run past the whole midfield, but it's broken up by combination of Comley and Hutchinson, and Walsall have it over halfway on the far side with Jack Earing, and then it's out. He's tackled. It's a throw to Walsall. Be happy to have the ball in the Saints half down that far side, about 10 yards into the Southampton half. Tackle from Shea Charles.
Yeah, kind of an unnecessary tackle, but that's what you end up doing, isn't it, Adam? When they counter-attack, they just want to run forward, and easy way to stop them to get organised is to take a free kick, make a free kick, and that's what we've done.
Well, it's a free kick, not a throw-in. And with 12 minutes to half-time, Southampton leading through that 6th-minute goal from Ryan Fraser. But Walsall have managed to stem the tide since then. Here comes the free kick, wide out on the right. All the big men up from the back. Only Liam Gordon back defending. Now he's helped to stop the counter by Jack Earing. But the free kick comes in, hung up to the back post. Good header to the far post as well. And in the end, I have to say, that's good work from Priestley Farquharson. His header across the penalty area towards the man at the back stick was a threat, and Southampton just managed to get it away.
Yeah, that was a good header by Parkinson. He gets it into the danger area, and luckily we managed to deal with it.
Well, here's another problem, and the shot blocked at source as it was sent in by Ockwood Bay. And now it's lobbed forward down the right for Walsall, and again they're managing to turn Saints round. That's a good first touch, and the second touch is a volley wide, but that's really good play and good skill, no doubt about it. Tom Knowles brought that down beautifully, and his left foot volley went wide, didn't make the side netting either. Lumley wasn't worried, but that's a decent effort from him, and he scored in their first round win against Sheffield United. Joe.
And there's a long ball from Parkinson out to the right hand side, just a long lump up there, and he wins the ball. Nelson drives inside and has a left foot shot with which I think was a couple of yards offside the goal when Joe Lumley has a control, but letting them in the game and everything we have had.
Now this time Knowles has put a great early crossing in the shot as the referee gives a free kick against Douglas James Taylor. The shot was saved from him by Joe Lumley, but if that's not a wake-up call for Southampton, then nothing is. 35th minute, Southampton have a free kick, but Lumley forced into his first save. He didn't know that when he saved it. And James Taylor, which is his surname, not the name James Taylor, like the quartet, it's Douglas James Taylor.
And Tom Knowles
is causing trouble now.
He's causing a lot of trouble on that right hand side, and Magoma needs a little bit of help as well. And this is where, when you're a young player, get some of the experienced players, guide you a little bit, talk to you and put you in the right position, because it's a little bit too easy, and that was dangerous. I don't know why it was a free kick out. Good save by you, Lumley, by the way.
Yep. Now good ball from Stevens out to Fraser. Fraser can have a dart down the left hand side, early ball into the near post again, looking for Mara, and once more good defending, this time from Donovan Daniels, and it's out for a Southampton throw. That's better from Southampton. Early cross while the Walsall players are still turning round, running back towards their own goal, Joe. That's what we need to see more of from the Saints perspective.
Yeah, and easy as well. Fraser just uses pace, takes the full back on, gets a little bit of space, good cross in, and Sukumar is almost there.
Yeah, good defending as well. Into the final 10 minutes of the first half. 1-0 to Southampton. The goal back now 30 minutes ago from Ryan Fraser. Jack Stevens gets it forward to Alcaraz, in towards the edge of the D to Smallbone on the left. Lovely low shot early, left-footed, and smartly saved by Smith. It was down to close to his left-hand side. He's gathered it safely enough, but better from Southampton. Good run from Smallbone, picked out, and what I liked was 2 touches and then the shot in left-footed, and Smith did okay down to his left to gather it.
Yeah, good pass into Smallbone. Has good, and this is what he should have done earlier when he got the ball. He turned and played it backwards instead of had time to turn and just have a shot again, and he was again inside. Good shot, but good save by the keeper.
Now Walsall made some space for a shot, the top of the D, and Lumley makes the save, and that really was an opportunity. And I have to say, if you're Isaac Hutchinson, you're disappointed you've hit it straight at Joe Lumley from 18 yards out, 19 yards out, because it opened up for him as he went from right to left.
Yeah, but Joe Lumley did something very smart. He stepped forward and made a goal a lot smaller. He was almost on the 5-yard box when he saved that, and he just positioned himself and made the save look very simple. I don't think it was as simple as it looked there, Adam, but because he was clever in the face and read the game well, he saved it kind of brilliantly in my eyes.
Yeah, good ball out to the left now for Fraser. Fraser trying to back up the defender, low ball in, back to Smallbone, and he skied this one into the fans. It was on his left foot, slightly behind him. He tried to hook his foot round it to get the ball goalwards, but he couldn't get it right, and maybe if he'd had another chance he might take a touch and do something else with it. 38th minute, it's gone high and wide anyway. It's a goal kick to Walsall, and he just stabbed underneath the ball.
Yeah, should have been 2-0 here, Adam. Again, Ryan Fraser, give him the ball, take the fullback on. He just runs down the side, and he's so quick. Puts good balls in. Ended up in the kind of bounced off some players in the middle and landed perfectly for Smallbone. Should have scored. Tap in my eyes. Missed the target totally.
Blackburn 2, Cambridge 2. Cambridge took the lead again. Smodic has equalised again. Here, Walsall are starting to enjoy themselves. Out on the right-hand side as they attack the Chapel End away to my left. Still got possession. Hutchinson twists and turns away from the attentions of Alcaraz. Wins a throw level with the edge of the Southampton penalty area. And this will help the Saddlers grow in confidence. And that's the last thing Russell Martin needs, the Southampton manager, is to see his side not turn their possession again into goals and their dominance, and give the opposition a lift, because that's what it looks like at the moment. They've had a few half decent chances, Walsall, and you can see them growing by the minute. They have a long throw. It's going to be launched in. Plenty of green shirts in the box. Sent in towards the corner of the 6-yard area. Headed away by Jack Stevens. And then it's picked up more by Walsall. They get the ball in again, and Stevens clears it again, this time with his right foot. And the ball up to Sekou Mara. He challenges in the air with Farquharson, who wanted a free kick. He's not getting it, and it goes back to Jackson Smith, and he launches it long down the left, and I think Lumley's going to have to deal with this himself. He is, because it was sent down the left, and Southampton are a bit slow to react as Hutchinson found himself trying to latch onto Smith's long clearance. Now Saints can turn and face Walsall in their half, and the ball from Alcaraz's paw, and it's picked up by Gordon, and he can run down this left-hand side, and he's sent over by Alcaraz, whose pass cost Saints possession. And certainly Liam Gordon letting Alcaraz what he thinks of that challenge. Saints here only 58% possession, Joe, which is about 20 down in their normal championship.
Yeah, it's because we give the ball away too easily, and again Alcaraz gave it away to when he tried to play it in front of Smallbone running forward, and totally misses it. And that's what makes you a better football player. Be good at the simple things, Adam, and that was a simple thing to miss.
So Walsall have it on halfway. We're into the final 5 minutes of the first half of normal time anyway, here at St Mary's, as the clouds darken and get lower here and the light goes out of the day. Southampton lead 1-0, but that goal does seem an awfully long time ago now, as the ball cleared by Walsall drifts out of play on the far side. That's a Southampton left for their throw deep inside their own half. So Blackburn 2, Cambridge 2. Still Sheffield United 1 up at Gillingham. Birmingham 1 up at Hull. Newport Eastleigh is still goalless. Norwich and Bristol Rovers still 1-1. Plymouth 1 up against Sutton. QPR Bournemouth goalless. Stoke 1, Brighton 0 still, and Chesterfield 1 up at Watford. That's all your latest scores in the FA Cup. Jordan Clark will have the scores up and down the country for you, and the local games and non-leagues as well, during half time, while we go and grab a Bovril. 41st minute. Do you know what Bovril is, Joe?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
You don't. You've never had a Bovril. Can't believe it. Do you good? Walking around those glaciers and fjords and up those Norwegian mountains, you'd love a cup of Bovril, mate. Nice beef extract drink, like you put hot water in it and stir it like a coffee, but it tastes of like beef stock. Fancy that? Yeah, or you can spread it on toast.
Sounds good.
I used to love it on toast.
Oh, that's good.
Mate, good on toast. No good for my waistline, but good on toast. 41 minutes gone. I think it was the toast and the butter that was bad for the waistline. The Bovril was probably fine. Shea Charles has it 5 yards inside the Walsall half, inside right, goes across the Walsall half of the pitch. Stevens into feet to Mara, taps it back to Harwood Bellis, central, drills the ball out to the wing. What a great pass that is. Here's Fraser again, doubled up on him, 2 marking him, so he sends it inside to Alcaraz, 25-30 yards out. Charles gives it back to the young Argentinian, ignores the run of Fraser and then shoots himself, and the goalkeeper couldn't take it cleanly, and Mara almost snuck in, and Smith just pushed it away at the second time of asking. But Walsall can't clear their lines. Southampton come again. Magoma's cross blocked, corner Saints. 42 minutes gone, 1-0 they lead. Joe.
Yeah, good shot by Alcaraz. Keeper makes a lip of Mara there, and Mara should be a little bit quicker maybe, and it reacted. You always have to anticipate the unexpected. I've got to say, Magoma is struggling a little bit defensively, but offensively he's really good. He's joining in with having Ryan Fraser that helps him as well, and they are linking up pretty well.
Here comes the corner from Fraser, the goal scorer from the left. Mara got a little flick on, but it's well defended by Walsall, headed clear. Magoma's come across from that left-hand side to pick it up again. He wants a foul, he's not getting it, and the ball played by Farquharson forward, and now Walsall can break on Southampton. Steaming forward down the right-hand side is Jack Earing. He has it, supporting behind him from Knowles, low ball in from him, and then it's cleared away by Charles in front of his back four. That's a little tap in the ankles on Ryan Fraser. Free kick Southampton. But now, I said to you midway through the half, Joe, what's Russell Martin thinking, saying to his players after 20 odd minutes? Is he going to be less happy now after 40 odd minutes if they go in just 1-0 up?
No, I think he's going to be okay.
Long ball forward again, looking for Fraser. It's that Harwood Bellis-Fraser combination.
Yeah, it's really good.
Effective, yeah. And that's because Fraser stands and plays in the right areas that Harwood Bellis can feed him with his experience.
Yeah, and he makes the runs. That's the difference. He makes all the runs, and when he has the ball, he takes on the fullback in the right time. He's
got it now on the left, and he curls it into the heart of the penalty area. Good defending in the end by Donovan Daniels, and the captain stops Mara getting to it, who bundles him over. It's a free kick to the Saddlers, 90 seconds of normal time to go. Sheffield United now 2 up at Gillingham in the FA Cup. So, here, Southampton, it feels to me a bit like they're making heavy weather of it, Joe. You know, I mean, they're only 1-0 up. They've dominated a lot. And when you score after 6 minutes, I think against the lower league side, for me, you should go on and get a second.
Yeah, and the player of the match so far is Ryan Fraser on that left-hand side. He's created everything. He's scored a goal. He's created every chance comes from that side. His pass, his perfect wing play so far this first half, and it's just a matter of the other players to score on this kind of the situations he sets up.
Last minute of normal time, throw into Walsall near halfway as a long clearance nodded out by Charles. By the way, Queen's Park Rangers have scored 2 in 2 minutes against Bournemouth in the Cup. So Andoni Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, had a great reputation. He grew his reputation being a giant killer in the Copa del Rey himself in Spain. But at the moment, QPR, who Southampton beat, of course, just before Christmas at Loftus Road, are beating the Cherries 2-0, 2 in 2 minutes. Sinclair Armstrong and Lyndon Dykes as the referee points for a free kick to Southampton near halfway. Good to see Russell Martin applauding the referee for a change.
Yeah. And it was the right decision as well. I don't think it's going to be much extra time.
No.
Adam, what is your guess?
Here comes
2 or
Darren
3
Drysdale.
minutes? 3 minutes?
Two. We've had a couple of injuries.
Let's say 3
maybe.
then.
Here comes the bald-headed Darren Drysdale. He's got the board, waiting for David Webb, and it is 3. Extra points for you, Joe Tessel.
Fantastic.
Ball in towards Mara, poor pass, never going to get to Mara, but Southampton win it back as Charles wins it back, and Smallbone can then play it out to Sam Amamayor, and he can drive into the penalty area, trying to line the defender up. Gordon comes inside onto his left foot, was desperately trying to find an angle for the shot, had bodies he could have aimed at instead, and then Danny Johnson plays a neat ball round the corner down this left wing and allows Gordon to come out for Walsall. That's a good ball inside as well. Driving forward is Hutchinson. He's fouled midway inside the Saints' half. Should be a yellow card, you'd think, for Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and I think it will be. And I can tell you, Eastleigh have got to half-time all square at Newport County, so they've got a foundation for the second half as well. Free kick now. The referee is going to give that. Is it Smallbone or is it?
No, it's Sam Amio.
Is it Sam Amio?
Yeah, because he ran back and clipped his feet while he was running back. So it's a correct decision, but it was Sam Amio that clipped his legs.
Sam Amio took one for the team there.
Yeah, well,
that's for sure.
I don't think he took one. It was a little bit unlucky. He just, the player had the ball in front of him and crossed over and then you kind of, when you run, you put your heels back, and that can, when you are very tight together, you are going to clash
him. But that's a foul.
And it's a foul, but he stopped an attacking situation, and that's why it's a yellow card. Not the tackle in itself for me, but
I tell you what, 90 seconds left in stoppage time. Walsall have a set piece here. The free kick midway inside the Saints' half, left of centre. They've got a chance to get it in here and make a nuisance of themselves again, because they did that with one previously. Going to be swung in right-footed, headed away by Stevens again, who's been like a magnet from those set pieces for that, as he dealt with Tom Knowles' free kick, and then Fraser does well defensively, finds his goalkeeper Lumley, who drills a long clearance all the way down the middle of the park, and it goes all the way back to Jackson Smith. So, ball with Walsall inside their own half. I'll be honest with you, I'm totally out of the loop with what all the applause is for in the 47th minute. But that's my fault. Maybe I should have known. Farquharson.
Yeah, you didn't get that.
I need to read more social media. Ball forward down the right for Walsall, dealt with by Harwood-Bellis. He's got a player in his back, James Taylor, and he decides that's no problem. He's dealt with that. Offside flag goes up anyway, I think. So Saints will clear this. That's just about it for the half, isn't it, I think? Yeah,
but that is a strange offside decision out there.
I know.
Did he have to wait that long? If he was offside, could he have just done it? And Harwood-Bellis has the ball, so the player hasn't even touched it. But weird one.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen a few, haven't we? So that'll be about the last action of the half when Saints get going. We've got 10 seconds left according to the big screens left and right of me at top of both ends at this ground at St Mary's. I reckon about 18 to 20,000 in today. 18,000 I'll go with.
Yeah, I think so too, Adam.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's good.
No, and a long ball forward from Jack Stevens, looking again for Ryan Fraser's run off the left. His first touch is beautiful. He plays it infield. He knows he hasn't got much time. It's half cleared by Gordon. He gets another go. Plays it for Mara. We've gone past the 3 minutes now. If Southampton are going to create a chance, they need to get the ball into the penalty area very quickly. And Mara, in the end, plays it back to Alcaraz. 35 yards from goal, inside left, but he's going across the pitch. You'd think the referee might look at his watch, and he does. And he says, enough is enough. That is it. And the applause, I'm told by my boy in Riga, was for a fan who passed away. So condolences to his family and everybody else. I'm sorry I didn't give him a name check and send my best to them, but you can rest assured that me and Joe send all our sympathy and condolences to that family and that man's family. So, half-time, the referees pick the ball up. Joe Tessam, marks out of 10 for Southampton.
5. It's a half. It's a 50-50 game at the moment. The only one that can go in with a higher score is Ryan Fraser on the side. He's made David Akubu stay very hard.
Yeah, marks out of 10 for Walsall.
No, they defended well. They sit back and they tried. They limited us a little bit. We haven't had as a high possession football as we normally have. So well done to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Joe, for now. Half time here at St Mary's, then on BBC Radio Solent and on 5 Live Sport Extra. Jordan Clark will take you through all the half-time scores from the FA Cup, from the football leagues, the non-league as well, throughout the break. And we'll be back, of course, with second half commentary. But this cup tie is still alive. Ryan Fraser gave Southampton a lead in the 6th minute. It looked ominous for the League Two side, but the informed Saddlers have stuck to the task, created a couple of troubles themselves, and we've got it all to play for. Half-time, Saints 0, Walsall 0.
Your headlines at half-time on Solent Sport. Bournemouth heading for a shock exit in the FA Cup, currently down
this right-hand side. Armstrong again. This time he's up against Senesi, and he holds off Senesi, and Armstrong into the penalty area, and Sinclair Armstrong has given QPR the lead. We noted his threats. This time he just held off Marcos Senesi with ease and rolled the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. And 5 minutes before half-time, QPR not going well in the league, but they're going well in the cup. They're 1 up. And now Field plays it for Dykes down this left-hand side. Dykes has got some room here, and Aarons wants some help. And Dykes is into the penalty area here. QPR on the crest of a wave, and they've gone 2 up. As Lyndon Dykes' right-footed shot deflected off Max Aarons, it took it down into the ground, it looped up over Mark Travers, and all of a sudden, in the space of a couple of minutes, the Cherries Emirates FA Cup campaign is already hanging by a thread.
Surely some changes on the way at half-time, Bournemouth fans. They've struggled, haven't they, against the Championship teams this season, the League Cup as well. They had to make changes at the break. Who are you bringing on? Chris Temple says Clivert, surely up front for keeper Moore. What about you? At Solent Sport on social media, please. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. 81333 on the text. Start those with Solent too. Saints fans, let's hear from you as well after this first half at St Mary's against Walsall.
But the Saints go through, and there is the goal, and Ryan Fraser's come off the left-hand side, and he scored early. He's been scoring off the bench. Now he's got his start, and he's scored again. We said both wingers have started well. Fraser's latched onto the ball near the penalty area. Well pop, good pass into him. He's got there, and he's slotted it home, and it's 1-0 Saints, and that's the perfect start when you're the side who've got it all to lose in the FA Cup third round.
Pretty comfortable, in control so far at St Mary's for Southampton. What about in Wales then? Eastleigh away at Newport, looking to cause an upset, looking to get themselves into the 4th round for the first time. They're going to have to do it the hard way. They're down to 10 men at the break.
Now Langston makes the foul 10 yards away from the box, and Langston has already been booked, so he might be in trouble here. Appeals for him to be sent off from the home supporters. The referee's looking at the linesman, saying, what shall I do? Which is a concern. Oh, I think he's going to go off here. He's off. It's a red card. Langston's received a red card. And that is the end of his afternoon. And that makes the task for Eastleigh a whole lot more difficult now against League Two opposition, because they've got to play another 55 minutes with 10 men.
That's a big blow for the Spitfires, but still goalless, still in the game. Stranger things have happened. Also goalless in our League One commentary for you. Pompey away at Cheltenham. Have your say on the first half, Pompey fans, at Solent Sport on Twitter, please. Where'd you find the breakthrough? 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. 81333 on the text. Again, starting your message with the word Solent. Coming up during the half-time break, we'll run you through these scores from elsewhere across the country, and of course our non-league sides too. This is the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent. Sport.
BBC Sounds has a brand new area dedicated to the South. From local stories to sport, news to stuff you've just not discovered yet. Sign in to your BBC account to access it all. You never know what you might uncover. Get more sounds from the South. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Jordan Clark, BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Show coming to you live from St Mary's today, with Saints 1-0 up over League Two side Walsall at half-time in the third round of the FA Cup. We'll get you back to all four of our games as soon as the players are back out for the second half. Let's do some score lines from our non-league sides this afternoon. We'll start in National League South. No game for Haventon Waterlooville today, and we should say all the best to Trevor Brock as well, long-serving Haventon Waterlooville secretary, announcing, I think it was yesterday, may have been the day before, that he'll be standing down from the role. So we wish Trevor all the best. Weymouth are playing today. They are 1-1 away at Tonbridge Angels. Jordan Greenidge gave Tonbridge Angels the lead. Tom Bearwish with the equaliser for Bobby Wilkinson's side, that coming just before the half-time whistle. Drop into the Southern League Premier Division. Couple of games for you and a couple of postponements. AFC Tottenham and Sholing, so two of our sides going head to head. They are 0-0 at half time. And from the other game, who else we've got in action? Dorchester Town today. They are at home to Hungerford Town. I'll try and get you a scoreline from that one in a moment. Not coming up on my latest scorelines from the Southern League website, and of course the two postponed: Gosport against Poole Town due to electrical troubles at Privet Park caused by the heavy rain, so for health and safety reasons that game not going ahead. And Plymouth Parkway's pitch still waterlogged, so no game for Winchester City there this afternoon. Let's see if we can drop into Division 1 of the Southern League. We've got a couple of teams in action there. Bashley and Wimborne both playing. Bashley are 2-1 down at half time. They're at home to Melksham Town. Connor Whiteley's got the goal for Bashley. Better news for Wimborne Town away at Exmouth Town. Jack Lovell and Harry Morgan on target to give them a 2-1 lead. We're 2-0 up. Aaron Denny has got a goal back for Exmouth. And Horndean are in action in the Isthmian League Division 1 Southwest today. They are 1-0 up at half time. They are in action against Ereton Belvedere today. So 1-0 lead for Horndean at half-time. Good result for them so far. We'll keep you across all those scorelines as the afternoon wears on. Let's dip into the rest of the half-time scores, and we'll come to some of your messages in a moment as well. Please keep them coming in at Solent Sport on social media. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word if you're getting in touch on WhatsApp. Do the same, please, if you're texting us on 81333. Lots of FA Cup ties today. Some of them played earlier on, 5 in total. Ipswich are through to the fourth round. 3-1 win for them away at AFC Wimbledon. Coventry are through. Huge 6-2 win over Oxford United. Brilliant goal in there for Palmer as well. If you get the chance to watch that back on the highlights, they're up actually and available now on the BBC Sport website. That was the Coventry third in that game. Cracking strike from the edge of the box. Couple of goals in there for Gooden as well. What else did we have earlier on? Big upset in terms of National League. Maidstone going through, beating League One Stevenage 1-0. Steve Evans won't be happy, will he? He wasn't happy at Fratton Park on New Year's Day. He won't be happy today with his side crashing out of the FA Cup 1-0 against Maidstone. Leicester are through. Difficult game for the Championship leaders. 3-2 in the end away at Millwall. Millwall coming back into that one late on. And in the Tyne-Wear derby at the Stadium of Light, Newcastle went through. 3-0 winners away at Sunderland. Not a great day for Dan Ballard, who scored an own goal to open the scoring for Newcastle, then gave away a penalty late on as well. There was also 2 for Isak, one of them from the penalty spot, to give Newcastle that 3-0 lead. In terms of the games at half-time in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, Blackburn 3-2 up on Cambridge. It's Gillingham 0, Sheffield United 2, Hull 0, Birmingham 1, Norwich 1, Bristol Rovers 1. Plymouth are 1-0 up on Sutton. QPR 2, Bournemouth 0 you know about already. You also know about Newport 0, Eastleigh 0 and Saints 1, Walsall 0. Our live commentary games for you today. Stoke and Brighton 1-1 at half-time. The Championship side holding the Premier League side And Chesterfield, Paul Cook's Chesterfield of the National League, 1-0 up away at Championship Watford. Upset on the cards there too. Coming for you at 5:30, Chelsea and Preston, Middlesbrough against Aston Villa, Sheffield Wednesday against Cardiff, and Swansea against Morecambe. The FA Cup ties for you tomorrow, loads of them. Luton, Bolton, Man City, Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, Blackpool, Peterborough, Leeds, Shrewsbury, Wrexham, West Brom, Aldershot, West Ham, Bristol City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United go to Wigan on Monday. We've also got the results in from yesterday as well. Fulham through already to the fourth round with a 1-0 lead over Rotherham. Tottenham through with a 1-0 win over Burnley. Brentford and Wolves drew 1-1, so they'll face a replay. Same with Crystal Palace and Everton after that boring 0-0 on Thursday night. Right, let's drop into League One then. The early game finishing Fleetwood 1, Derby 3. Derby going well at the moment. Burton 0, Wycombe 0, Exeter 0, Carlisle 0. And it's Port Vale 1, Charlton 1. The rest of those all half times at 3 o'clock, along with our Cheltenham 0, Pompey 0. In League 2, the early game finished Harrogate 3, Doncaster Rovers 1. We've got Barrow 0, Tranmere 0 at half time in the 3 o'clock games. Bradford City 0, Crawley 1. Mansfield 0, Crewe 1. Salford 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. And Swindon 2, Colchester 1. That brings you up to speed with all of the latest scorelines from the FA Cup and the Football League. National League very quickly. Altrincham 2, Barnet 0, Dorking 0, Oldham 1, Ebbsfleet 1, Wealdstone 0, Hartlepool 0, Oxford 0, Oxford City that is, Maidenhead 0, Bromley 0, Rochdale 0, Kidderminster 0, Solihull Moors 1, Woking 0, Southend 1, FC Halifax 0. Let's come to a few of your messages at a half-time break. Harry in touch. Harry, a Pompey fan, wants White off. Passenger, he says, in this Pompey team. Let's get Sadie or Devlin on in the number 10 position. We talk about him every week near enough, don't we? Now he's still yet to really ignite his Pompey career. We talked about it, Harry, in the build-up with Guy Whittingham and Andy Moon. Sounds like he's not having the best of games again. Hello to Ken, Cherries fan, says we have a shock in recent history in the cup competitions, losing to Wigan, Millwall, Burton and Boreham Wood. We never take it seriously enough. I don't understand it. We have a break coming up, so why not play your full strength team? It's an interesting point, Ken. I mean, he didn't make total changes, did he, Andoni Iraola? But enough. And those players who you'd think would be coming into the Bournemouth side with a big point to prove failed to do so far. Had Chris saying just before half-time break, Kiefer Moore pretty much not in the game. David Brooks not taking his opportunity so far this afternoon. Will be interesting to see who comes back out for Bournemouth in the second half. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, he made big changes, he made changes at half-time, early changes in the League Cup games, didn't he, particularly away at Swansea and at the Stoke game as well, off the top of my head, which then did get Bournemouth back in the game. They're going to need to do that today, 2-0 down away at QPR. Pompey Peanut, hello to you, says a question for you all. Does the referee get to watch back any decisions or replays of his first half performance during the half-time break? Or do they just grab an orange and continue to fill in a Specsavers form? I've got no idea. Andy Moon may know the answer to that question, but I'm going to guess probably not. Who else have we got in touch on the WhatsApp? Hello to Stet, says 9 changes against Walsall. Everyone needs to step up, and this should be a tidy home FA Cup win today. So far, it has been Stanley. Thank you for that message. I think it came in just before the start of the game. Alan, the Cherries fans listening in from Chepstow, sent his message in on WhatsApp to 08000 321 333. Says, poor first half for Bournemouth. What are they doing? Yeah, I can't answer that one either, Alan. Hopefully you'll get better in the second half. And hello also to Denise. And happy 60th birthday to you. That message coming in a few moments ago. Denise, I think you're a big Pompey fan. That is with love from Andy, Niall and Casey. So I'm more than happy to read that out for you. I hope you enjoy your birthday. Hopefully Pompey can find a goal and the 3 points for you in the second half. No name on this one, just says hardly a shock if the Cherries lose, given their recent record in the FA Cup. Yeah, and usually Chris Temple dips out of those games and I'm the one left to commentate on them, so quite grateful that he's decided to stick around and go to Loftus Road today. But still time for Bournemouth to turn it around. starting to get players back out, so we're going to take you to all of our commentary games now. Let's go first of all to Rodney Parade. Eastleigh 0-0, but down to 10 men away at Newport County. It's on the BBC Sport website and app. Second half with Cliff Pledge and Ian Wilding. Right, next we are going to St Mary's. Southampton 1-0 against Walsall in the FA Cup. It's on BBC Sounds, your smart speaker if you ask to play BBC Radio and 96.1 FM with Joe Tessam and Adam Blackmore.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Welcome back, everybody. The ball is on the centre spot, whether you're listening on BBC Radio Solent, BBC Sounds, 5 Live Sport Extra. I hope you're still with us, because this one's still in the balance. Southampton 1, Walsall 0. No changes for either side at half-time. And we did kick off, and the referee's going to make us start again. I'll tell you what, David Webb, it's not a day for being officious. It's the FA Cup third round. People are having a nice day out. Just get on with the game, man. What's he done, Joe Tessam? Was he not happy someone step over the line? Deary me. He was actually pulling someone back for going over the halfway line, I think, before the ball was kicked.
Yeah, there's sometimes...
disgraceful.
Yeah.
I
don't know what to say.
That's going to change the whole pattern of the game.
He's probably right, Adam, that the Walsall players stepped over the line before the ball was kicked, but did it matter?
He still needs to get a life.
Did it matter? Yeah,
exactly. It didn't matter. It's not going to change the score of the game. And if Southampton can't handle the ball with a couple of Walsall players running an inch further closer to them, then the game's over. 46th minute, 1-0 to Saints. Ryan Fraser's 5th goal on his loan spell from Newcastle. The wee man, as he's widely known in the game, and this time Mara gets a long ball chipped over from Harwood Bellis. He did that for Fraser's goal. Southampton trying to put a second goal on this early in the second half and quell the enthusiasm from Walsall, who came back into that first half well in the last 10-15 minutes of it. Shea Charles does well to win it back for Southampton. Good ball into feet to Smallbone. Alcaraz, sliding challenge from Farquharson. He's very good. He had to get it right, Priestley Farquharson, and he did. And then a good challenge from Charles, wins it again, and Fraser's ball reversed into the penalty area for Mara, just too much on it, and Jackson Smith can come out and claim it for the visitors, the Saddlers, who have won 4 of their 13 away games, and in League 2 this season, 36 points they've got, 10 wins in total from their 25. They have actually scored 23 goals away from home in those 13 games, and only scored 16 at home, so they've been effective on their travels. That obviously goal difference helped by the 6 at Grimsby on New Year's Day, but what a famous day for those Walsall fans, all the way travelling up there on a New Year's Day morning. And Jack Stevens playing it around at the back, Saints as well. So 1-0 Southampton, not much pressure on the ball here as they walk it out from their own penalty area. And again, Fraser made a good run. Harwood Bellis didn't find him, and he's going to look for him a second time. He's going to keep going, Fraser, to his credit, and eventually he doesn't get it, but now he's keeping his width, and Stevens does bring it over halfway and finds him midway inside the Walsall half. He's got Jaden Magoma on the overlap. Magoma with the cross, and it's just taken well by Smith, who comes out from his 6-yard area. It was curling away from him, the keeper, so he did well to gather that, and then he launches a brilliant clearance down the left wing. Credit to him. It's a great find to hit James Taylor on that far touch line.
Yeah, and if you're going to be picky, he's over the 18-yard line holding the ball in his hand before he kicks it at him. So if that's the case of being picky with a goal kick, why aren't we picky with things like this?
I'm just incredibly impressed that you were picky enough to spot it, to be honest, Joe. You're eagle-eyed action man looking at that.
Yeah, man, I am. No, I don't like, because it's just because the referee did things on that goal kick. And I'm thinking, why do you don't pick the things like that? I don't.
Joe, small margins. Oh, that's a terrible clearance from Stevens. And now Walsall have a chance out of nothing, and it's blasted over by Knowles, who sent that into the northern end. But Jack Stevens had an absolute nightmare. He just passed it to him. And suddenly, from what should have been a relatively secure position for Southampton with possession in their own penalty area, Jack Stevens said to Tom Knowles, "You can have a late Christmas present, mate." That was a dangerous moment.
Yeah, and he didn't take full advantage of it, but he had a good shot and he went over the crossbar. Could have been dangerous. Better teams will probably punish you, Adam.
Oh, I think if it happens in the Championship, Southampton have levelled up. 49th minute. So Knowles blasts over. He's a good player, Knowles, isn't he?
Yeah, he's caused a lot of trouble first half from the right-hand side. He
switched. He started left, and I was surprised. And as soon as he's gone to the right, he's been a better player. There's no doubt about it. And by the way, he hasn't scored a league goal this season. The 25-year-old, former Yeovil man. The Saints have it down the right wing now. Amayor taking on Donovan Daniels, and he loses out. Then there's a free kick, another foul. I tell you what he has got though, for a man who looks like a winger, looks like a classic forward player on the right wing, Tom Knowles, he likes a card, Joe. He's got 10 yellows and a red already. It's January the 6th today. But he's already had a 10 card double second suspension.
Well, he doesn't look like a player that gets.
No.
He must do something different when he plays in the League Two.
Maybe the red mist comes down a bit.
Maybe. He's been good today with his football. His positioning play, he's caused troubles. He's taken Magoma on defensively, making him really struggle with him, and he's put crosses in which should have been dealt with better from their side. Absolutely. But we have dealt with it, Adam.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Danny Johnson, the 30-year-old striker, hadn't had much of a sniff of the game at all. The former Mansfield and Dundee and Motherwell man. He's got 4 goals this season from just 9 league starts. He hasn't had much of a sniff, and Douglas James Taylor hasn't been able to get too close to the Saints' defence. So it's really been Knowles that has created for me the best moments. Hutchinson had a shot as well. Southampton again trying to play through Walsall's press, and Walsall under Matt Sadler willingly pressing, and they've got the ball back again. Another mistake. Now there's a chance, and he's put it wide. Oh my goodness me, that was a massive chance for Jack Earing. He's through. Lumley's rushing off his line to narrow the angle. I thought he'd slotted it past him, right-footed into the far corner, and in the end he's missed it by quite a lot, because Mason Holgate, like Jack Stevens 2 minutes earlier, had a shocker and gave it away badly and just passed it to Jack Earing, who definitely should have hit the target, and he's got his big moment all wrong.
Yeah, and Holgate's pass to Shea Charles is horrendous, to be honest. It's not even on, and the pass and the weight of the pass, everything went wrong in that, Adam.
2 massive chances gifted to Walsall, and all it's done is encourage the League Two side. And the 2 30-year-old managers on the sidelines certainly waving their arms about like air traffic control staff, both frantic for different reasons, as Mara stops the clearance, and in the end Jackson Smith has to head it out beneath us. So Southampton playing from right to left, Lumley in goal, Holgate, Harwood Bellis, Stevens, Magoma the back 4, Smallbone, Charles and Alcaraz in midfield, Amayor, Mara and goalscorer Fraser the front 3. And they haven't tested Smith enough, that is for sure. They've created chances, Mara's had a couple of great chances he hasn't converted, but Walsall are still in this tie past the 50-minute mark, and Alcaraz trying to change that as he looks up midway inside the Walsall half. Ball to Smallbone was good, and instead of looking and taking control of it and running into the box, he backheeled it and gave it away. But then they've been helped because Gordon's given it away.
I would just play the ball to Ryan Fraser every time I had a chance at him, because he's the only one that does the right. He keeps the width, he's positioning himself, he's right in front of us now, and you can see how much space he's got. You can get any ball to him any time, but he doesn't get it.
No. And they're giving it away. This time Harwood Bellis, and Walsall will come forward again, cause more trouble. Here's Earing, who had that great chance. Then the ball spread from left to right. That's a nice pass out this right hand side. Here's Knowles going to take on Magoma, and he gets the ball into the 6-yard area. Great cross, no one getting on the end of it. Johnson couldn't get there, Hutchinson couldn't get there, and it goes out for a Southampton goal kick. But if somebody was coming in on that back post, Lumley would have been in trouble. 1-0.
Yeah, good ball. Just play it out to Knowles, takes Magoma and just runs past him, puts it in when he can. Little bit what Ryan Fraser does, just takes on his fullback.
Well, just opened it up, didn't he?
Yeah, and opened it up. But when he started to be caught up by Magoma on the side, he crosses it, and it was a brilliant cross.
Yeah, that's my point. What's good about both of them is, as soon as they get half a yard they put it in.
Yeah.
Amayor can learn from watching that, because he goes in and out, defender staying with him, and then you lose that momentum. Had Knowles waited, either Magoma would have blocked it, or his attackers would have had to stop and stay on side. But because he got it in early, they could have all been running onto that, and they should have done better with it, Walsall, really, as Fraser nods it into the Walsall penalty area. Big figure of Priestley Farquharson volleys it out under pressure from Carlos Alcaraz, and it's out for a Southampton throw, and Ryan Fraser wants to get on with it. Big unit, old Priestley Farquharson, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's not just tall, he's big.
But it's just keep it here on the left-hand side, because this is where everything is happening. Ryan Fraser is so involved. He gets the ball, he wants things to happen, he makes runs, his movement is brilliant. Even when the ball goes up for a throw-in, he gets the ball, he wants to get it going, Adam.
Yeah. He's trying to lead by example with his experience, isn't he? As they get the ball down this near side, Magoma head-chested it, but it's dealt with in the end by Daniel Okagboy, or Okagboy, depending on how you want to say it. And Stevens lifts it over halfway. Challenge from Knowles. Free kick given, only because the crowd shouted at the referee for a handball against Knowles, as it was volleyed past his head. Got his hands up. 55th minute. BBC Radio Solent 5 Live Sport Extra. Southampton 1, Walsall 0 in the third round of the FA Cup. Cheltenham lead Portsmouth 2-1 in League One. Newport have taken the lead against Eastleigh. Eastleigh down to 10 men. Now, that is not good news. James Tavernier has scored for Bournemouth at QPR, but they trailed 2-1 in the FA Cup. And Sutton United have equalised at Plymouth, the League Two strugglers at Home Park, 1-1 there. You're up to date with most of the goals. You're listening to the home of live sport across the south. We've got this afternoon 4 live commentaries, 3 of them online as well. As that's ball played through for Mara again, he's not going to get there. Farquharson gets between him and the ball and stops him getting close to Smith as he races off his line.
No, but that's a good play by Alcaraz. He turns, runs, plays it in between, and this is where my issue with Sekou Mara is his pace. He hasn't got that great pace which you need as a striker, and I think if he had, he would have got around there and got to that ball, but because he's not that quick yet, Adam, he's not getting to it.
Yeah.
But good pass by Alcaraz.
Alcaraz, that's what you want to see him do. Get it, turn, look up, run, or
run with the
then
ball,
go
one way and play it around
the
the defender the other side, and expect the run from Mara to start as well. And maybe also if he's quicker on his reaction, he doesn't need to be that quick.
Well, the FA Cup semi-finalists of 2018 and 2021 are making heavy weather of this, and the Saddlers of Walsall, who've never got past the 5th round, and they got to the 4th round last year when they lost at home to Leicester by just 1-0, when Leicester were in the Premier League, of course, are having another good go this year in the Cup, having seen off Sheppey United and Alfreton, 2 favourable draws for Walsall. They're now having a good go at making life frustrating for Southampton. They trail 1-0, and Southampton have possession, but they're not going anywhere with it, are they, Joe? That's the thing.
No, it's too slow, Adam, in terms of that. But Walsall is just sitting back with 11 players, and it is difficult.
It is difficult, and Saints are going to be patient, but they're still got to be creative, and Fraser's going to try and make more creativity now as he plays it down the left for Magoma. Low cross in, and Smallbone got a cross Farquharson to try and get the first touch, but when you're this side of the near post, it's very hard to get the ball going that far backwards. It goes over into the chapel end for a goal kick to Walsall. So Farquharson's a big unit, Joe, big strapping unit. Daniels is a big unit. Even David Okagboy is a big unit. Would you describe yourself as a player as a big unit? I reckon I've got you more as wiry, like a lean, mean Norwegian machine. That's what I've got.
I don't know, Adam. What
are you? 6'5"?
No, 6'3".
You're not. You're taller than that. You've stretched.
I got heels on. That's why you think.
Oh,
I'm
is it
taller?
the stilettos? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. It's not the weather for cross-dressing, Joe. That's for sure. 1-0 to Southampton. It's a bit chilly to be having the tights on.
Yeah, anybody for tights, Adam.
Yeah. It's quiet in St Mary's, by the way. I'd like these fans to be giving us players a bit more. Hopefully they will. They might be saying we're waiting for the players to give us something to cheer about. As Fraser lapses onto Alcaraz, he's passed, he's driving into the box, he squares it. Surely this time it is Mara by the penalty spot, collected it, had to turn and swivel, and in the end it's a good finish into the roof of the net. Relief around St Mary's. Sekou Mara, third time lucky, having missed 2 first half chances, but Southampton have that insurance of the second goal, and that should put them a large step closer towards the draw for the 4th round.
Yeah, and this starts by inside our own 18-yard box. Perfect pass by Jack Stevens up to Alcaraz, who turns and runs forward, outplays the whole midfield of Walsall. He drives forward, and Ryan Fraser makes a perfect run. Alcaraz plays it into his pathway of running, has 1 touch forward. I think he tries to play it back to Alcaraz, but Sekou Mara sneaks out, has a touch, and turns on the next one and smacks it up in the net over the keeper. And it's a very good goal and a very well executed goal in terms of turnover and how quickly you can score when you play it forward quickly.
How important Ryan Fraser is to this squad at the moment. A goal in the first half, an assist in the second half, goals off the bench and important assists in the Championship. He has been a shrewd loan signing, Ryan Fraser, that is for sure.
And he's driven the right back here to tears in terms of running and pace and doing the right things, and he's continued from first half, Adam.
Yeah, and you think about, I mean, I spoke to him yesterday down at the training ground, and Bournemouth have equalised at Queen's Park Rangers, by the way. That one is now 2-2 in the Cup. But Brighton 2-1 up at Stoke now. They were trailing by a goal. Lewis Dunk's got the second. So 2-0 here to Southampton, approaching the hour mark. They have a throw beneath us. But Ryan Fraser, you know, he could have expected to start a few more championship games the way he's been playing off the bench, but he hasn't been able to get in. Well, he's taken his chance today. Magoma pulls it back, and Smallbone side foots it wide. He's running onto it. We've seen him score a couple of goals in the championship like that. He tried to place it inside the far post, just got the contact wrong on the ball, but Southampton now threatening to open Walsall up a bit. Now they've relaxed with that second goal. Yeah,
and again a beautiful combination from a throw-in. He comes on, it throws to Ryan Fraser, who plays it back to Alcaraz, who does the throw-in. Then a little 1-2 on the inside to Ryan Fraser, who's made a beautiful run, and they kind of outplayed three players, place it to Magoma, who comes down the side. Good cross in, very small margin for Smallbone on this left foot, tries to curl it in and just goes outside, and that's all he can do, Adam.
Small bone and a small margin. An hour gone on the home of live sport across the south. Southampton 2, Walsall 0 in the third round of the FA Cup. Last season, Southampton, if you remember, Joe, we didn't fancy them at Crystal Palace, but they won 2-1 in the third round. Ward Prowse and Adam Armstrong. And the young guns now have getting their chance with Alcaraz at 20, Mara as well. You think about him, 21. There's a lot of young. Alcaraz 21, Mara 21. Sorry, Magoma 17, Amo Amayor 17. And Fraser really is the only one with any age and experience in that 5 I've just mentioned.
Yeah, but this is for Mara. This is a perfect game to get your kind of level going.
Yeah, confidence.
Yeah, confidence and getting more game play as well, when the tempo is a little bit lower than it is in the Championship or last year in the Premier League.
Yeah, and he'd be glad he got that one in after the 2 first half misses. By the way, worth mentioning Shea Charles, of course. He's only 20, and we sort of presume he's in this squad all the time, but he's still only 20, as Fraser brings a ball from him down out of the air beautifully, and he crosses from the left beautifully, and it might go for Mara. Smallbone's shot is blocked, edge of the box. Holgate tries to lift it in, and he's put it over and behind, but another good one. And again, Ryan Fraser, the source of everything good about Southampton going forward.
Yeah, just a long ball over the top into him. Beautiful touch though. The little step over goes past Okabu. I call him Okabu. I don't know what his name is. It's
Okagboy. Yeah.
Okagboy.
I've said it three
David,
his
first name I think it is.
Yeah, David will do.
And he's had a nightmare against Ryan Fraser.
It's been tough for him.
If I was the manager, I probably would have taken him off.
Well, the trouble is, he's had injuries. He hasn't got that many players to choose from. He's only got 6 on the bench this afternoon because of his injuries. But he has got, of course, the Norwich loanee they've just taken, Emmanuel Adebayoga, another defender, so he could bring him on, that's for sure, as Jaden Magoma, a teenager from the Southampton Academy. He's fouled again by Knowles. Stevens tells Knowles to get away after he has a little, almost kicked the ball at Magoma once he was down, but he did well. Magoma got between the man and the ball, made it difficult for him, and it's a good opportunity with a 17-year-old. So Saints last year, remember, they only won 2-1 in the 4th round against Blackpool, Joe, if you remember. Roman Perro got a couple, and Charlie Patino on loan from Arsenal scored for Blackpool. I remember that. And then, of course, that shocking night when 2 penalties for Gavin Holohan gave Grimsby a very famous win down here with the Harry the Haddocks all over the away end.
Yeah, I would like to forget that one, by the way.
Yeah, well, you can't, because it's gone down in FA Cup folklore. 63rd minute, the 1976 winners trying to seal this one with a third. Fraser gets it from Stevens. Support behind him from Magoma, midway inside the Walsall half, and Jack Stevens, the captain, gets it back, and then there's a foul off the ball. The referee says play on. Alcaraz has got it. He's gone inside and outside, but he's towed that too far ahead.
Oh, he did him correctly. Yeah. He kind of pretended to go to the left side and went inside, but then he wanted to go back again. I think if he could have continued on the inside, he probably would have got to a better shooting position.
And that's what he wants with his right foot. Yeah, and but he'd done him. Yeah,
did one dribble too much there. He wanted to take him on too much.
You don't get many Montserrat players in the English leagues, but believe it or not, Walsall have got 2 of them. Not only have they got Donovan Daniels, who's from Montserrat, but Brendan Comley, the central midfielder, is from Montserrat. I'm not wasting all these information and stats for nothing.
They're going to
come out slowly. 64th minute. as Fraser gets it again, this time fed by Alcaraz, steps inside a couple of challenges, one by Isaac Hutchinson, which wasn't much of a challenge, and then it comes bouncing back out to Magoma. But now Southampton almost at walking pace. That second goal has given them the comfort that they wanted, that's for sure. This has been a good run out. You make 9 changes, Joe, you never know quite what's going to happen, but these 9 players who haven't been starting the last game are getting a good workout, that's for sure. And now Mara lifts it over a couple. Is our penalty? The referee gives a goal kick. Now that is an interesting one for Joe Tessam to have a look at. Priestley Farquharson brought down Mara.
I'm pretty sure that is a penalty. He's behind Mara, and the only thing he can do is to
we might have kicked it into Mara's chest with his toe.
Okay, I'll let him off because I've seen the replay. He kicks the ball and then tackles Mara.
And the same foot brings him down, after he toes it, everybody, as he's stretching, his toes just kick the ball onto Mara, but then his leg continues to bring Mara down, so that was good. And now Saints have got it back because Walsall have got caught playing out from the back. Smallbone's got them, low ball in, and the deflection off Jackson Smith's hands as he dives on the ball just took it behind the on-rushing Mara, and Alcaraz, who is now busting a gut, the young Argentinian, to get down back and defend. Fair play to him. Magoma does that, and it doesn't get any easier for Walsall and for Okudboy and Co and Farquharson, because Shea Adams is coming on, and I'm sure a bit of him, being a former Birmingham City player, will fancy scoring against the neighbours from down the road. Not the neighbours, but a neighbour. So here comes the change, and it's Harwood Bellis. I don't think Shea Adams is going to play centre back.
Well, Shea Charles needs to go back there. There's the only option there in my eyes. And then
who's going to move across?
Well, I think Sekou Mara
will
will go down in the midfield, Adam, and that's the change we will have. That's why we have Shea Charles there. But Holgate has gone in as the centre off, and Shea Charles has gone to right back, which I'm not sure is his right position. I can play centre back, but Holgate has stepped in, and Sekou Mara has gone down in midfield.
Just giving you a little poser for the second half. 66th minute. BBC Radio Solent, 5 Live Sport Extra across the UK, and of course we are on the Saints website as well, on BBC Sounds and the FA Cup. Brilliant to be able to bring it on all platforms for you. Approaching the final quarter of the game, Blackburn are now 4-2 up against Cambridge, by the way. Plymouth regained the lead through a Ryan Hardy penalty against Sutton United. They lead 2-1. Southampton lead 2-2 here. Bournemouth have drawn square, I've told you that. Eastleigh are losing and Pompey are losing in League One. Here at St Mary's, Southampton are driving down the left wing. Jaden Magoma's cross is blocked by a retreating Okudboy, and it goes out for a throw near the corner flag below us on this Southampton left. So let's have a look at it. It looks like Shea Charles has gone in at right back, unless they're going to play a back 3 with Stevens, Holgate and Charles. They could do that if they wanted.
No, I don't think they will play. When your formation is 4-3-3, you will not go to back 3, Adam.
Good. 4-3-3 we prefer. All day long.
All day long, yeah,
absolutely. Ball at the top of the centre circle in the Walsall half with Mason Holgate, the Everton loanee, who has struggled since he's arrived to get any game time, especially in the last couple of months. And that ball over the top, looking for Alcaraz. Nice ball from Holgate, but it's just too far for Alcaraz to control it properly with his head.
Yeah, good run then, but again, Ryan Fraser keeps keeping the width there properly, and it's a simple ball, I think, from Holgate. That ball into Alcaraz is much more difficult than that long ball over the top into Ryan Fraser, who's free all the time.
Ball cleared by Jackson Smith, who hasn't had to move far from Wolves to Walsall this summer. As Mara, in his cool haircut, gets the ball back on halfway from Shea Charles, and the young Northern Irishman finds the young Frenchman, and then it's brought forward by the substitute. I think he's on now as Alcaraz gets it to Fraser. Low shot, beautifully curled past the keeper. First time finish, right footed. Fraser has 2 goals and an assist in the FA Cup. That's only 1 goal less than he's scored in his whole career so far in the FA Cup. He's almost doubled his tally in 1 game, and it's Southampton 3, Walsall 0, and barring a miracle, Russell Martin's side are heading into the 4th round.
Yeah, and again, that Alcaraz Ryan Fraser combination is seeming it's a tough ball into Alcaraz, who gets a little bit of help from Mara, but plays it very quickly into Ryan Fraser, who again has made a run inside, ready to receive the ball, either take it with him or shoot. He chooses to shoot with his right foot, curls it into the left corner. No chance for keeper. It's so quick, and that's why he scores.
Yeah, the first time shot didn't give the keeper a chance to set himself or get himself ready. and he swept it in nicely with a finish. Ryan Fraser's on a hat-trick. Of course, his parent club won 3-0 earlier today. Newcastle in the local derby at Sunderland. Saints are 3-0 up against Walsall. Most people will say, well, that's no surprise, and it isn't. Walsall have actually put a really good shift in here so far, and they have got Emmanuel Adegboya on. So Adegboyega is on in the back, try and relieve it. They didn't take poor old Adegboy off. He's had to stay on and keep suffering. So here comes Southampton again. Mara gives it away this time. And now Walsall will try and string an attack together through Isaac Hutchinson, getting up to halfway. Ryan Fraser rushes back to defend, and he gets it out to Knowles, though. He's been the main threat, Knowles, up against the teenager Magoma. Gets another good early cross in, right-footed. Heads go up in the penalty area, comes half out towards the D. Hutchinson's going to get another chance here, and he's going to shoot left-footed, and it's into the stand, but it's a good effort from him. And Walsall now at 3-0 down know they might as well have a go every time they get close to goal. And Hutchinson tries to do that. 8 league goals for the midfielder already this season, plus a cup goal. And the former Brighton under-21 player trying to get himself on the score sheet here this afternoon.
Yeah, and there's a missed pass again by Morrow. Very too simple again. It's his second now in the very short succession. Adam Murray misses the simple pass, and that stops the attack.
That crossfield ball again for Southampton, with Fraser hugging the touchline. Now he can take on Okukboy, and he crosses deep, left-footed from the byline, half cleared, back to Mara. His volley goes wide, goal kick to Walsall. But Fraser has been an absolute masterclass on holding your width and staying high and wide as a winger and giving fullbacks a torrid time by doing that.
Yeah, but that little drop, he does a step over with a drop of shoulder and then pushes it to the left and cross before he crosses it. It's so effective, but he does it with pace, and that's the difference. And he's just torn the right back to pieces today, yeah. Adam. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, it's been a difficult afternoon, hasn't it, for him. As Farquharson clears only up towards halfway. So that's now possession again. 71 minutes have ticked by here, and they lead 3-0. 2 second half goals have put this cut tie beyond the Super Saddlers. And I
think we're going to get to see Tyler Dibbling coming on there, Adam.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone's getting excited about down below us as they see him stripping off. I think at 3-0 he can come on. That one over the top for Johnson. He's offside, and Lumley comes out like Batman, flying out and volleys it clear like a kung fu expert, and it's gone all the way back to the Jackson Smith, and it's going to be a
it's good. Lumley he's a bit bigger than Basuni. He looks a lot bigger on the pitch. He looks like a presence when he plays, and he's clever. He comes out, he deals with situation very quickly, he makes up his mind, reads the game. His instincts are pretty good, I have to say, Adam.
Yeah, well, it's
and he is 28, so he should have
he's not a baby,
he's not a baby keeper.
Got as far as the 4th round with Reading last year. They lost 3-1 at Old Trafford, so he was between the sticks at Old Trafford in the FA Cup, and now his first appearance at Southampton, they're 3-0 up in the FA Cup as that ball goes all the way through to Jackson Smith.
Yeah,
too much on it.
Bad long ball from Holgate. It's simple, get no pressure, almost ball flat. He just needs to flatten it hard, straight to Ryan Fraser on the wing. You don't need to hit him perfectly, you just need to hit that area. So that's why it's not a difficult ball, but he missed it totally, Adam, and a bit disappointing about that.
So Adegboyega on to play for Walsall on loan from Norwich. He's gone into the back. He's a big unit as well, the young lad. And it's sent forward up to halfway by Smith. Flick on attempted by Earring. Johnson can't get there. Southampton need to clear, but it's given away by Smallbone. Caught blind, tried to turn into a blind alley. There was a green shirt there, and then Walsall couldn't control possession, and Lumley plays out from the back, and Magoma has to cleverly run it across his body to avoid Knowles, who perhaps should have gambled that he was going to do that, but he didn't. And now Southampton are over halfway, and Magoma has got Fraser again racing down the left. Fraser crosses, goalkeeper should get it, he only parries it, and it won't make it to Mara, and it's well dealt with in the end by Walsall, who clear away calmly.
Perfect cross though. I think if Shea Adams was a little bit braver there, he probably would have got it before the keeper. He didn't. He he kind of went like a turtleneck, didn't he? And he put his head back in. If he was braver there, he would have scored at him. And what a good cross that is from Ryan Fraser again. He's turning into the man of the match by a million mile here, Adam.
Absolutely. 74th minute, 3-0 Southampton. Sheffield United still 2 up at Gillingham. Blackburn 4-2 now and comfortable against Cambridge. Been a plucky effort from them, that's for sure. Birmingham still 1-0 up at Hull. Eastleigh training with 10 men, 1-0 as a long distance shot comes in, and this time the effort from James Taylor dealt with by Lumley at his near post. So Walsall get the shot away in the 75th minute. Tyler Dibling's about to come on. He's put a few inches up in growth since I last saw him. He certainly got a bit taller, but there'll be Walsall fans maybe listening online who don't know anything about Tyler Dibling and wondering why we're taking such an interest in him. Well, he's a 17-year-old Southampton Academy product, highly rated, was stolen by Chelsea, nicked off to Chelsea a year or so ago, and everyone in Southampton bitterly disappointed, but then realised he didn't want to be at Chelsea. He was homesick, he didn't like it, he didn't want to be in that environment, so came back to Southampton's academy, and now he's on the verge of making his second senior appearance as he waits on the bench. Fraser puts the ball in, Alcaraz gets it, it goes to Mara, he helps it on, no one wants to have a shot. It's gone out to the right now, Amayor, narrow angle, near post, Gordon makes the block and he's going to have to complete the clearance, and he gets help in the end from Adeboyega, and it's headed out to the far side, and then strong challenge, ball out for a Walsall throw. So here we should have the changes now, and a couple of changes for Walsall as well. But it's Mara coming off. He got the second goal that relaxed things for Southampton. Taylor Allen is coming on, and Charles Ragg is coming on for Walsall. So Mara gets warm applause. It's a good day for him. It's turned out he missed a header and a shot from 6 yards in the first half, and he came back to get a goal with a nice finish from Fraser's cross just before the hour mark. His day is done, and the young Frenchman will feel better. He's got a goal in the league over Christmas, he's got an assist in the league, and now he's got a goal in the cup, and he's just building him back up slowly, Joe, because he's one of those players that absolutely would have suffered hugely with his confidence. There's warm applause for Tyler Dibling, but when you think about Mara coming to English football, walking into that absolute car crash of a season last season as a 19-20-year-old, and having to deal with all that, he's been built back up slowly by Russell Martin, giving him little cameos in the Championship, but you feel that's probably all done him good. They've almost like reset and started him again.
Yeah,
he was way out of his depth in the Premier League.
I'm a little bit unsure about restarting him, but you got to build him from the level he's on and make him get to the level you need him to come. And
his confidence, I think.
Yeah,
really.
But your confidence comes with the right steps, because when you are kind of monitored and stepped into the right role at the right time, you will grow with it. And I think in his age, he needs to kind of find that. In the Premier League was way too high level for him. Championship has proven to be a little bit of a challenge. He's good at coming in, and that's where he is at the moment. And so getting game time is important for Sekou Mara, and he's got some today. Yeah,
he's not going to be a player that I don't think defenders in the top of the Championship are going to worry about if he was playing against them from the start. But when things get a bit tired and you can come on with 15 minutes to go and use his skill, a bit more space and time, maybe you're right. Maybe
and he is different starting, so this is good practice for him in an official game for Southampton in the FA Cup, to come on, start the game, play on, and he's kind of come off now because he was put in midfield, and I don't think midfield is his place.
No, absolutely. Southampton 3, Walsall 0. 12.5 minutes of normal time to go, and again they find Fraser on the left, and again he finds Alcaraz midway inside the Walsall half, looks up and drives, finds Shea Adams, he just can't control it, then he can with his left foot, and that's the third, and it's a good finish in the end. He couldn't get the ball onto his right foot, decided to shoot with his left foot, and Shea Adams has a goal to make it 4-0 to Southampton. And Walsall aren't the first team this season to suffer at the hands of Southampton as they grind a side down over 50, 60, 70 minutes, and it's starting to look a bit easier now.
Yeah, and again, Ryan Fraser involved in everything. And now I have noticed Jack Stevens has started to find Ryan Fraser here now. He's playing the ball out to him, and because he has so much space and he's smart in his movement, and the right back Okubuya has struggled with him. He stays back on him, and he gets the ball touch in, drives a little bit inside, plays it in between to Alcaraz, who's in the middle, who has a little bit of an he looks like he's going to go shoot, plays it to Shea Adams, who has a little bit of a bad first touch, but gets it in, smacks it in with his left, and a very good play. And Alcaraz, Ryan Fraser Seemed to be a combination, Adam.
Well, by my reckoning, there's at least one more goal to come unless we have 8 minutes of stoppage time. Do you know why? Because Saints have scored in the 58th minute, the 68th minute and the 78th minute. So one in the 88th and possibly one in the 98th if we get a lot of stoppage time. Or is there more to come? Here's Alcaraz, 25 yards out. Tried to thread it through for the run off the side from Tyler Dibbling. Don't like to see a teenager wearing gloves, Joe. Look at him, 17 years old. Young English player wearing gloves. I'd say, Tyler, get them gloves off, son. Come on, you're a man now, playing men's football. I know it was all right for Thierry Henry to wear them. I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter if he keeps your hand warm.
Doesn't it?
It's
Come
clever.
on, what does he need?
It's clever. I'll tell you what.
What does he need? Warm hands for? He's a footballer.
But when you're playing and it's cold, it's important to keep all your other parts warm. And if you can do that, well, save energy. You get more energy on other things.
Okay. Did you wear gloves in Norway when you were playing?
We played through the summer.
Oh, all right, I'll let you off. Okay, and you still
that would look stupid.
It would. Well, it's not that cold. 79 minutes. Southampton 4, Walsall 0. But I'm fond of Walsall, being a Birmingham boy myself, and like I said, having had my first moments of making an impression as a reporter watching Walsall.
Is that where you used to hang out there? I don't know.
Not hang out, no, not really. Ball forward. I was from Moseley originally, and started at BBC WM reporting on Moseley Rugby, having played for them.
Is that why we drive the wrong way when we go on the M6?
What I want to tell you was, I used to be a reporter and I was at the bottom of the pecking order at BBC WM in the sort of 98, this was, 98, 99. And I was doing a Walsall game at Bristol Rovers, and it was maybe my first Walsall game. And as they came to me for an update with 10 minutes to go, Andy Rammell scored for the Super Saddlers. They won the game 4-3. It was a thriller. But as they came to me, the cross came in for him to score, and I commentated on it. And it was like an accidental commentary. And it was the first time they went, oh, he's good, did that well. There you go. So there's little moments in life, little sliding doors moments. As Dibbling gets it, right-hand corner of the penalty area. Driving down the right, checks, trying to flick inside, twist and turn, go past Gordon again, and he wins the corner, does he? I thought he did, he does. So yeah, it's worth mentioning. Could be people listening. I get lots of communication from aspiring commentators, people who want to do stuff. But you know what? You can be doing something you don't think is very important, like the game at Walsall, and you think about WM, BBC there with Villa and Blues and West Brom and Wolves and in Walsall and Coventry at the time. But actually, it did for me doing that game. You never know when things are going to go your way. 81st minute, cross from Smallbone out off Stevens, goal kick. So yeah, it was Darren Rack who crossed it, the Walsall winger from the right. I think Rammell hit it. It was either his goal, the third, or the fourth one that clinched it. But it was a thrilling afternoon. It was when Walsall were really good, an exciting side to watch. Yeah, just as they came to me, the goal happened in front of me, Joe. And it's like me leaving you alone for 5 minutes and Saints scoring, you'd have to deliver it.
Yeah, they'll get
Okay, I'm just off to the loo.
Yeah.
Right, see you later. 82nd minute. Walsall have it. Because of my soft spot for Walsall, I quite like them to get a consolation, but I know nobody in Southampton would. As Stevens plays it back.
Yeah, I have noticed your prep is full today with all sorts of things from Birmingham area.
Right. Blackburn 5, Cambridge 2, by the way. Leonard's got the 5th for Blackburn, so they're going through. I don't mind who Saints get in the 4th round as long as it's a home game, Joe. Should we both agree on that?
It's always easier with a home game, Adam, isn't it?
Well, it's a shorter day, let's be honest, we're working.
Well,
it's a
easy
shorter
team.
day.
If you want to go far, you need to get the simpler teams.
We'll take Newport County at home in the next round, yeah? Because it's still good for the squad players to start games. This one's important. 2 rounds of the FA Cup in January. You win this, and players on the fringe of the team can get, of course, good 2 matches under their belts. If they're needed in the Championship, they're match fit. As players like Stevens coming back from long-term injury can benefit, as Saints about to make another change, and Eastleigh with 10 men have equalised at Newport County. So Eastleigh have never been in the 4th round, had famous 3rd round games against Bolton in particular, took them to a replay, beat Reading in the last round, have got a chance to bring them back to the Silver Lake Stadium for a replay as Southampton bring on Cameron Bragg, the 18-year-old midfielder. He's going to make his senior debut, and he comes on for someone even younger in Sam Amo Amayor, who I have to say, Joe, has faded as the game's gone on. He's only 17, we know that. But I would say if Sam Amo Amayor watches Ryan Fraser's video of this game, he might learn a couple of things.
Yeah, and exactly that. And this is his learning curve is going there, and you got to learn quickly when you are that age, and you need to be up to scratch if you're going to make it and become a Premier League player, because that's probably his aim. You got to have the pace, but you got to have the smartness as well.
So there's a long ball again. Fraser has been indefatigable today. Latches onto it, keeps it in, but he's offside anyway, and he's still running.
That was not offside, by the way.
No, well,
it was never offside. The referee got that with it totally wrong. He wasn't even close to being offside, and this is what it's really annoying, because I used to be a winger in my younger days, and when there's a long pass from the centre half far back on the pitch over the top into the back space on the left, the referee on the linesman, it's a normal mistake for a linesman is to look when the ball is played, and then you lift your eyes as the ball is going to see where the wing is, and then you wave him offside because he's then taken the 3 or 4 yards forward.
Okay, I'm with you. Stoke 2, Brighton 4. Brighton have come from behind. João Pedro's got the 4th there. So Jordan Clark will have all the scores for you from up and down the country. And of course from the local non-leagues down here in the south. FA Cup league matches will have reaction from Pompey at Cheltenham, from Eastleigh at Newport County, from QPR Bournemouth. Could be on for a couple of replays in the FA Cup, but we're not going to have one here. Southampton are 4-0 up with 5 minutes to go, but we could have replays for Bournemouth against Queen's Park Rangers and Eastleigh against Newport County if they can hold on with 10 men in South Wales, as the ball needs to be dealt with here at the back by Walsall, and is in the end by Donovan Daniels, who for a moment didn't know where he was quite trying to go, but they just about got the goal kick out of it. And I don't know what they get out of this. What do Walsall get out of this? Just a nice break from the league and a good day out. Now they've lost.
Well, they came in with a game plan and try and sit back and defend and keep the scores down, or try and keep it to 0-0 at them, and that was the plan, and they fell apart after 6 minutes. So it's a bit difficult where you go from there, but a good day for us, and a good day. I think Russell Martin is kind of managing it properly, because when we went up to 2-0 and 3-0, he's put a couple more younger players on to get more game time in, which is so important.
And that's what you want in this round.
Yeah, that's what you want, but you can't start them. You got to get there first, and then you can put them in.
But what I mean is, I said to you, if he gets the second goal, we might see Tyler Dibbling, but it took a bit longer than he'd have liked, but we got there, and they're getting some decent game time as the ball spread out nicely as Foulkes comes on for Johnson for Walsall, and that shot is on target from Gordon, left-hand corner of the penalty area. So the Saints girls, the women's team, they've come in late, Joe, and they've all left early. Look, they're all going down now. You're not a fan of leaving early anyway, but especially teammates.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Just wind Joe.
You know what I kept myself cool there, didn't I? I didn't say anything.
So, Cameron Bragg gets a touch. The ball played by Shea Adams, who's got a goal. So Adams, Fraser's goals, the last two to kill Walsall off to make it 3 and 4-0. Both assists from Alcaraz. Fraser got an assist from Mara for the second, just before the hour, after Fraser had collected the long pass, excellent pass from Harwood Bellis to score the early goal early in the 6th minute. Now there's a run made. That's a great ball as well, and a great run, and the shot from Alcaraz blocked in the end very well. And Alcaraz, who's been good today, kept pushing.
Yeah, he's been very good with and his combined play with Ryan Fraser has been really good. They have combined really well down this left-hand side. Yeah,
and Comley did well to go with him actually and block that effort. Now, here's Tyler Dibbling. Again, lines a defender up, shoots into the side netting. He was after a debut, FA Cup debut goal, that's for sure. Of course, Will Smallbone scored on his debut for Saints in the FA Cup. Quite a few fans will remember that, I'm sure, when Smallbone scored in the 3rd round against Huddersfield, January 2020, before the world changed. So Smallbone scored.
What you can say about Dibbling, he looks muscly, he's got fitness. He was
tiny as well.
Yeah,
so
he was tiny, so he's put on a little bit of muscles, which you need to become a football player.
If you're going to be a top footballer, you've got to have pace and power.
Yeah, and I like what he did with his shot. He took the player on, and you can see he creates just enough space to get a shot on, and it was a good left foot shot there, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. So, still pluckily coming forward. It's almost condescending to say pluckily, isn't it? Really, as Adeboyega come forward, and they've lost it, and that's a great ball on the turn, and the linesman's flag's gone up.
That's correct, though. That's 5 yards offside.
Yeah, okay. So that one was offside. We're in line with it, so you got that one sorted.
Yeah,
I know. So,
you would think that we haven't got electronic linesmen.
well, isn't it nice?
Yeah.
All the Saints fans have put their phone lights on. Suddenly it's like Daniel O'Donnell concert or something. Coldplay having everyone do a sing-along.
Yeah, if you had a modern phone, you would have a light on it, Adam.
I'm not putting my lights on. My phone's modern.
Oh, have you
it's
got
21st
one?
century. Just anyway, I don't need it. I shout. I don't know, you can hear me from anywhere. Right, ball down the right for Knowles. Cuts inside Magoma. Goes outside Magoma in front of the Walsall fans, and then tackle on the substitute faults by Cameron Bragg. It's a throw into Walsall on this near side. They're right, 5 yards from the corner flag. Can they fashion a chance in the closing stages? Can they get a consolation and annoy the heck out of Joe Lumley in the Southampton goal, who would love a debut clean sheet? We're in the 90th minute. We're about to get the board up for stoppage time. Here comes Knowles again. This time he's beaten Magoma, and he just towed it off him. And Fraser is back in his own penalty area trying to set another counter-attack up. Bragg needs to play this the right way. Good work from Stevens to get the ball, and then he gets caught. He wanted too many touches, and really Walsall should have done better, because there was a chance there when James Taylor had it. He just had to square it to a player rushing on, and he got the pass wrong. Dibbling is fouled by Gordon. That's a free kick, or is it? No, referee said play on. So Walsall come again, this time down the left. 4 minutes of stoppage time. So we've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. Blackburn have got 5 against Cambridge. Remember earlier today, Newcastle, Leicester, Maidstone, Coventry and Ipswich all went through. Sheffield United are going through. They were 4-0 up at Gillingham. Hull have equalised against Birmingham. 2 championship sides who wouldn't really want to replay, but they're going to get one by the look of it. 1-1 there. Eastleigh, as I said, with 10 men, after Langster was sent off before half-time, have done brilliant, as the flag goes up for offside here against Walsall. So Eastleigh are drawing at Newport. Norwich, Ryan Fraser, not surprisingly the man of the match. That's because hopefully the people who voted for it are listening to you and me, Joe, and they would know that anybody else would be the absolute wrong decision.
Yeah, I think even if you didn't know anything about football, I think you would pick Ryan Fraser.
Yeah, good. Well, that's usually what happens when people pick man of the match. They pick the wrong player because they don't know anything about football. That happens quite a lot, especially the old sponsors man of the match, and everyone on the ground goes, who? Why have you picked him? So Norwich being held by Bristol Rovers, that's not going to do well with them either. 1-1 there. Plymouth safe, 3-1 up against Sutton United at Home Park, and Bournemouth are 3-2 up at Queen's Park Rangers, so it looks like they're going to avoid replay, which neither club could do with. Stoke 4-2 down to Sunderland, Brighton now, pulled one back. Brighton are going through, and Watford have equalised against Chesterfield, by the way. Rajovic scored for Watford. That's 1-1. So there's a few championship clubs who aren't going to really fancy replays, Joe, but it looks like they're going to get them. Watford, Norwich for sure, Hull and Birmingham. And I think anything that possibly slows down sides Southampton have got to play to try and get back to the Premier League and gives them more games and tiredness is a good thing. Anyway, good word this time by Tyler Dibbling. Oh, and he's passed through for Ryan Fraser. Just had too much on it. But that's the vision you want to see, isn't it, Joe, really? That's good work from Dibbling. Looked up, saw the run, hit the pass.
Yeah, but you got to make the pass.
OK, all right, Mr. Picky. You just said it's nice for them to get a few minutes on the pitch.
Yeah, when you're on the pitch, you get criticised for what you are showing us.
OK, 2 minutes into stoppage time. There's no half measures with Joe Tesson. You're all in or you're not in. And they're all in. You're on the pitch.
But that's going to make you a good football player.
I agree.
If you can make the simple things, you're not going to make it as a football player.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I love it because actually what you're reminding us is the attitude of a professional. Whereas we sit on the sidelines watching the game, pontificating, saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter," and you're saying, "Actually, it does. You get the position, make the pass. You're a pro." Here comes Adams. He doesn't make the pass. Blocked from Farquharson. Might come back to Fraser. Chance of the hat-trick. Low shot straight at the goalkeeper. Near post, and he looks to the sky. He knows it was nearly there as well. And he just had room for the shot left-footed. And it was saved well enough. Eastleigh have got a draw at Newport, the second lowest ranked side left in the competition. Our own Eastleigh FC, with 10 men, have got a draw at Newport County. There'll be a replay at the Silver Lake for everyone to look forward to. And you know what? It'll be live on BBC Radio Solent. Saints fans, Walsall fans if you like, get your thoughts in. 81333 on the text, put Solent as the first word. Tweet us at Solent Sport or WhatsApp us, putting Solent as the first word, 08000 321 333. And you can do that even if you're listening on 5 Live Sport Extra, wherever you are, because Jordan Clark and Joe will take you through the last hour with Guy Whittingham, of course, who's been watching Pompey at Cheltenham in League One. We've had that Newport Eastleigh game, reaction to come from that, which will be excellent as well. Richard Hill and the Eastleigh boys, and then of course Bournemouth look like they're having a thrilling win as the flag goes up against Walsall again, even though they put the ball in the net. At 5:30 in the FA Cup, Chelsea Preston, Borough Villa's a good game, Sheffield Wednesday Cardiff, and Swansea Morecambe. Cheltenham still leading League One leaders Pompey 2-1 in stoppage time at Whaddon Road. That is a surprise. Cheltenham second bottom in the table. That is a blow for Pompey, who got back to winning ways on New Year's Day. And the referee now puts the game to an end. Matt Sadler and Russell Martin shake hands and embrace. It's been a well-played game. League Two Walsall came, set their stall out, made life hard for Southampton, did have their chances in this game, but ultimately 3 goals in the second half took the game away from the Saddlers, and Saints have cruised into the 4th round draw for the FA Cup. Fraser, after 6 minutes, he was the man of the match from Harwood Bellis's pass, and then in the second half, after Walsall of course some trouble towards half time, Mara's goal from Fraser's cross settled the nerves just before the hour, and then 3rd and 4th goals from Fraser and Adams, both assisted by Alcaraz, have made this one comfortable, and the sort of scoreline you would have expected and hoped from Southampton. Joe Tesson at the start of the afternoon.
I did, and it did come in the way we play football. It's good to see that the pattern of how we play continues. Doesn't matter who's on the pitch, we play the same way. I think that's a strong point. That's what Russell Martin has brought it. He doesn't try and do different things like play with a back three just to accommodate players. He just plays the same style, formation. That's how we play. That's how the football I want to introduce you to, and that's what the players execute as well.
It is not a record unbeaten run for Southampton. It stretches to 19, but the record in the league is 19. Their record run is 24 historically, league and cup. So they've got some way to go. But Joe Tesson, when the game started, we would have wanted to see a performance that the manager goes, right, I'm going to insert these players for these players, but I expect us to do the same things at the same tempo, continue this great run of form we're on. Have the players that started and got their chance today, have most of them done that?
Yeah, kind of. It's more getting a game practice, and you can only face who you're playing in a way, and so the game is kind of situated by that. The one player that has put a little thought in his head is obviously Ryan Fraser, because everything he did from the start to beginning was perfect. And that's what you expect from a proper player, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to come play football. Alcaraz, who's played himself up now, had a couple of games now back in the team playing more and more, and you can see he's growing with it. And he showed that he's a lot better than League Two level.
Good news is, Joe, no injuries, no seeming problems. Sheffield Wednesday at home next week, another opportunity to continue the unbeaten run to 20 games, but 19 in the league, which would level them up with the record in the Football League era for Saints of 1921. They've got a longer record in the late 1800s in the Southern League, which I still think counts. It's the club's history, so it would be a great thing. But real opportunity now. They've come through Christmas unbeaten. They've got Sheffield Wednesday at home. They've got Swansea away, who they've already beaten 5-0 on Boxing Day lunchtime, and then they've going to have now a 4th round FA Cup tie in the last weekend of January. The season is placed and set well and looking positive going forward.
Yeah, but like we said before earlier, we have a nice progression of what we're doing. The players are gelling more and more. Everyone knows the roles. It's coming together, and also the managing of when he makes substitutes, he gets that mostly right there, Russell Martin, and that's so important. He makes changes and it works, and I think we are seeing a nice progression. Now, we're not on Leicester's level, who just flies, but I think we are better than Ipswich. I think we got to the point where we are able to catch them and go past them, and I think that second place is our hope to go straight up.
Second goal was a big moment, wasn't it? Mara needed to score after 2 misses. It's done him good, but also it was the 58th minute. It settled everything a bit, and it enabled the manager to make those substitutions, because if it stays 1-0, he's going to be more loath to do so. And it sort of worked out, like we said in some other games, gone 2 or 3-0 up in the Championship, put some players on, got some game time, and it continues to work.
Yeah, and he got Shea Adams on, who scored a goal. And that's important for Che Adams, I think, because he's going to be an important figure through January, because I think it's going to be really tough to buy a striker in that window, because it's going to cost too much money, and I don't think the club will go there. And I think then Che Adams he is an important part of the squad.
He scored at Watford, he scored over Christmas, he scored today, he's getting back into the thick of things.
Yeah.
And Russell might admit he should have started at Norwich. Do we now even do it? If you're the club, would you, Joe, looking at what he does on the pitch, would you say to Che Adams, look, let's just get through this season. If you want to leave on your own, fine, but don't leave in January. They don't want to be searching for a new player. Che Adams, stay.